Oh no, it's doing that thing where I can't hear you if I plug it into here. Hang on.
Oh no!
If you plug into there,
no.
maybe you should plug in over there.
Plugging everywhere.
Things am I down to? Am I down to
Plugging here, plugging there, plugging every freaking where.
Does it work in that one?
Did you plug in the red cable and the white cable into the right slots?
It's a USB.
I know.
And for some reason, the same USB that I've used all this time has now decided to stop working. It records my voice absolutely fine. But as soon as I plug it into a different one, I can then hear what you guys are saying.
So it's a two-way USB to a one-way USB.
I don't know what it's doing.
It's a one-way road now.
It is, yeah.
Not what you wanted to do. That's
Are you
for sure.
vaping over there?
Who?
You.
No.
Mr. Vader.
It sounded like you were vaping. You're like,
okay, so that's too close to my face. All right.
My word. This week we've adjusted our face too close to the microphone.
Yeah.
Добро пожаловать, комрades, to Titans and the Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news and opinions. This is the лучший show for new and veteran people alike. Where we share tips, tricks and tools to help you succeed and enjoy the game even more. Now you know what we do. Let me introduce you to my comrades in arms. The здорово Peroty. The stream America's no one response in real life. And the class and удивительно Nitedemon. До свидания.
So, have you guys been farming for the grenade launcher for next season?
Absolutely not. I have largely checked out of that last of this season. I have not been trying to get challenges done. I said, listen, I don't have the time, nor the attention, nor the energy to do any sort of grind at the end of the season. So I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to relax. And I'm just going to, acquire some more pinnacles and clean out my vault and be ready for next season to start.
You sound like me, but it's different with me. It's my wife tells me that I haven't got time to play the game. And I've got cleaning of the house to do rather than my vault. So, swings and roundabouts, but, potato, similar to me.
Swings and roundabouts. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you, I do have 402 of 600 slots in my vault use. So I've got almost 200 slots, and it'll be there once I go delete the rest of these sparrows and ships that are sitting there. And I've got 14,481 legendary shards ready to spend this next season.
Nice.
Have you been to visit Amanda yet? You need to. Don't forget to go and visit Amanda before Monday and get rid of all that stuff.
There are many tasks I need to do tomorrow and Monday. One of which is visit Amanda for all the exotics she's been holding on to me since, up to and including the chaperone that I got from the quest on my hunter. That's been there since that quest in year 1 or 2 of Destiny 2. I need to go see the Drifter, Vanguard, Shacks. They all have 40 or 50 engrams sitting there for me to collect. That it's all materials. I'm not even going to look at what they are. It's all materials at this point.
Mm. Well, I'm still trying to kid myself into thinking that I can finish all the challenges, get all the triumphs done before Monday. So I'm still in that fantasy land at the moment. Yep. I came back home from work this morning. It must have been about 6:30, 7. And I jumped on and I thought, I'm going to go invisible and I'm going to do it. I'm going to solo flawless the Operation Sarah Shield, because just my luck, those stupid little music boxes, the one that I needed was at the end of the whole thing. And it was like, oh, really? I've got to do that. So I thought, well, on the triumphs, it says do it solo and do the legend version on flawless. So I thought I might as well just amalgamate it all in one. So I did, and I completed it, and I recorded it, and it looks cool. Nice. Although my recording kind of cut out after an hour, and I had to push record again because I took more than an hour. But I took my time, got it done. So that was cool. I was having heart palpitations doing the spacewalk and the jumping through that. But I did find a good old cheese for that.
Terrifying part.
A good old cheese for that was the Tiku's divination. From distance, just found those shanks miles away, just like, yes, thank you, take them all out, and they were no problem solo. So I was quite happy with that. Even the knights, the the Arc Knights, they were quite easy to get rid of as well.
You know what else takes care of all of those things? Machine guns.
No.
Yeah, I did it solo many times. Machine guns.
Well, I'm quite happy that I did mine. Solo, flawless, happy. There you go. And I got the music box at the end. And then the next one told me I had to go to Europa. So I went to Europa, picked up the next one. And then the next one said, oh, by the way, you've got to go back to that Operation Seraph Shield and go and get the one that is, I think it's the second from the beginning. So it wasn't too far in. I'd already had to do the third one from the end. And I was like, oh my God.
And then it was go to the moon. That is the one thing I did finish this week is the stupid singing boxes because I only had 4 to go. And it was like go to Seraph Shield, go to the moon. Go to Seraph Shield, go to Europa. Back to Seraph Shield. I'm like, we couldn't put these in some kind of
no, but what I didn't realize until afterwards and looking at the esoteric videos is that when it was first released, those music boxes all came out on Europa, the moon, and where was the other place? Was it just those 3?
I think so.
Yeah, I think just those 2 in Seraph Shield, yeah.
Okay, so when we first got the season, they were only on the 2 locations, and it was only when Operation Seraph Shield came up that those ones were in there. So if we'd have done it before Operation Seraph Shield come up, all we'd have actually done is the planets backwards and forwards before a Seraph Shield came up. I did it the long way round, so I was like, you did it the long way round. Hey ho, we've paid the price.
Yep. We had to go do. I mean, Seraph Shield though at this point, I mean, running it normal is a cakewalk. So wasn't too bad to do. Just running through it, collecting all my things.
So speaking of the things, remember how I had said I'd never got them, and you're like, you have to, otherwise you can't unlock the weapons. I'm like, I never did them, and I have the weapons, right? And it come to find out that because I was doing the storyline was giving me the weapons. So I never went through the music boxes to get the weapons because the storyline gave me all the weapons, and I didn't realize that at the time. Somebody had to point that out to me. I'm like, oh, well, there you go. That's how I got them without ever doing the freaking music boxes, dude. You know? Yeah. So do the storyline, guys. It matters. The storyline gives you stuff most of the time.
Well, see, I did the storyline too. That's the thing. I even ran on my Warlock this morning because I fired the Warlock up thinking, all right, let me go. The Warlock has less stuff on him. Let me go fire him up and, go collect some bounties. Oh, it's the end mission. And I was like, yeah, I'll run that again. Fine. Why not? It's a thing to do. So finished that and then ran my Team Scorched and got my pinnacle there going. Maybe next season I'll spend some time in PvP. I really through no conscious effort, just haven't ever really spent much time other than Iron Banner in PvP this season. Just sort of didn't have the time for it.
Well, that's the nice thing of looking forward to next season and beyond is that once you've hit the pinnacle power next season, and hopefully it's going to be longer than 12 weeks, that you won't then have to worry about it the season afterwards because they're, doing away with that. So you can actually go into the activities and focus on the things that you actually want to do. Like if you want to play the Nightfalls or if you want to go and do some raids, you're not going to have that worry of, I need to grind up to pinnacle power before I can then go and do the higher end activities. It's all just going to be there available for us to do if we do the grinding initially.
Because they're only raising the cap by 10, right? If I remember correctly, they're only raising the cap by 10. No. So as soon as the season starts, you can do Grandmasters day 1. Assuming Grandmasters would be available. What do you mean
No, which they aren't.
They're doing away with it.
Doing away with what part?
The light level part
the
of
light
it.
Level increase.
Oh yeah. That's right. I forgot. I thought this season was the last time they were going to do a small increment.
Yeah, that is this season that we've just been in. Yeah, next season is the large increase, and then they said they're taking away for season of I can't remember what it's called. The Deep season of the Deep. I think they said it's called.
Yeah,
got Defiance and then Deep.
Defiance is next, and then Deep.
Yeah. So that's all to look forward to. I still need to do some Void and Stasis kills in Vanguard stuff. There's no way I'm going to get the Velasex pulse rifle ornament for Gambit unless my eyes bleed, and that comes courtesy of my wife.
Don't we have double rewards this week? Yeah.
I understand that, but I'm telling you, I won't be able to touch the Xbox and get it on unless I finish work again early tomorrow morning, and then I'm playing with fire.
Oof.
So,
double Vanguard and double Gambit rewards. Unfortunately, negative wife rewards. So
exactly.
Tell her how important it is for next season.
That debuff is going to override anything the game will do for you.
Yeah. I did get my Seraph title, so I was happy with that. I'm really sad that I've missed out on. Well, I know I'm going to miss out on the Moments of Triumph for 2022, and it's the first one I've missed since Destiny kind of started, and I'm really upset about it because I haven't been able to do the raid challenges. I'm sure I could go and do a King's Fall at some point and get that completed, but managed to do a duality and managed to do Spire of the Watcher. So managed to knock out the dungeons. Already done the Vow. So I've done like 3 out of the things, and I've done one raid challenge somewhere along the line in the last year. But yeah, I'm a bit sad that I'm missing out on that. Again, it comes down to a time factor. I think if I was single, no problem. I could knock it all out of the park. But yeah.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
What was your grounds for divorce, Destiny 2?
Yep.
Yeah. That's one thing I looked at. I looked at those requirements early on and was like, "Oh, raid this dungeon." I was like, "No, it's not going to happen." That's another one. I sort of wish I had it, but also one. I mean, like I've got the shirt code, and honestly, the shirt I don't really even like the look of. So like that's not even my motivator for it. And yeah, the rest was raids and dungeons. I'm going, yeah, unless I really put in some effort and like really trying to make it happen, it's not just going to happen on its own. So we'll skip it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this season seemed to be a little bit more difficult. It was more refined, the triumphs that they had available. It was more of like, you've got to go and get these activities done. Whereas I think the previous years was more like completing more of the storylines and the seasonal quest stuff. There was still, do the Vault of Glass, earn a high triumph score, and do extra amount of things in Crucible trials, a bit like we've had this season. But then it just there was a lot of the 30th anniversary stuff as well. So with Dares of Eternity, that was also included in the Moments of Triumph 2021. So there was a lot of triumphs that you could get done, and I think it does boil down to the fact that I haven't had the time to do those for. So,
yeah. I mean, like the Moments of Triumph, like hasn't. I mean, the whole thing's just a giant pile of time to throw into the game anyway. But this season really felt like, again, like unless you were raiding and doing dungeons sort of like already, the amount of things they were asking you to do just seemed like a lot more than in the past.
Yeah,
really.
I think the thing is, because it was a shorter season, and the times before we've had a lot longer season that comes with the end of the year's content. So remember when we had Witch Queen, there was delays, wasn't there? And we had an X amount of more weeks that we could do things. So it gave people more of a chance to get all of the season stuff out of the way, and then they could focus on the Moments of Triumph, which I think that's what they've kind of done for like the last couple of years. Whereas this season, there was a lot of stuff to get done in a short amount of space of time, and then Moments of Triumph on top of that. So yeah, I mean, I know there are things that they were retroactive. So if I'd have done finished a King's Fall in the last like 6 months, it would have counted, and if I'd have done raid challenges, then they would have counted as well. So I wouldn't have had to worry about it. It's just coming up at the end of the season. But hey ho.
Yeah, but here we are, basically at the end of the season. Anything we could tell you about the game now, you wouldn't hear before Lightfall. So,
well, you could. You could.
If you're listening to it right now.
Well, I mean, we could. I could be really cheeky and just go, you know what? Let's just push it out there. I'll just fiddle with the audio. No, no sound effects. No making Respawn sound like a chipmunk this week, because that was a bit insufferable the last couple of weeks. So yeah,
just ship it.
Just ship it.
Ship it for tomorrow, and then on Monday people can enjoy it while they're not playing Destiny and not looking at their apps.
That's
and
what I was thinking.
Not fiddling with their APIs.
Exactly. When everything goes down, when the game shuts down and you've got nothing left to do, you listen to us, and then after that, I'm going to recommend that you go and follow Bife. My name is Bife's channel. He's got a couple of really good lore videos out there that kind of tie in with the opening of the new season, and some of the artwork from, I think it was the books that they've shipped, the lore books they shipped now mimics some of the art that they've actually got in the game. So with the trailer that we had in the last week, he's referenced that as well. So I've watched some of those, and I will put those in the show notes if you are interested in having a look at, potentially spoilers, but not really spoilers if you're kind of following the story so far, I guess. And you've seen the trailer for Lightfall. Or there's several trailers, but the newest one I'm talking about. So they're really cool lore videos.
Apparently, I saw Bife did a trials card with Grenader Jake, and sort of he was like, dropped 45 minutes of lore while being carried to the lighthouse. Like Jake and whoever he was running with is like, that's just a fun collaboration. It's like, hey, take me to the lighthouse. I'll talk lore. We all get something out of this.
Now that sounds like the streams that I do during the week, and when I do get an off, I do try and question him on the lore. He's a bit sketchy though sometimes to do with his lore. He's too busy trying to play or trying to listen to what I'm saying, So I do try and question him when he's around and get some lore. So it sounds like that they kind of copied our idea of play the game and throw out some lore. But
definitely,
I'll let them have it because they're
totally our original idea. Never been thought of before.
Yeah, possibly. So should we talk about bringing some challenges back to Destiny?
We already did. We all covered that last week. We brought challenges back. We got people playing together. You're telling me there's more challenges they're bringing?
Well, apparently we're bringing more challenge back to Destiny. Not challenges, challenge.
One big challenge. His name is Tom. Tom the Challenge.
You're
going to love him. He's great.
So Lightfall apparently is almost upon us. So when you hear this, apart from listening to it live, of course, because we've kind of covered that, but listening to this before Lightfall drops, it's nearly here. And there's a lot that is changing in the game, apparently. It does sound like it's going to be a whole new version of the game. I know a lot of people said it sounds like Destiny 3. And what do you guys think? With all the stuff that we've seen so far and the stuff we're about to cover like today, does this sound like a different version of Destiny completely? And it could potentially be Destiny 3?
No, potentially Destiny 3 anything, because that's coming out on mobile.
Don't make stuff up.
But no, it is completely different. I mean, look at everything they're doing. We're gonna have in-game build crafting. They're removing all elements from mods and armors. Artificer armor is now going to give you +3 to any stat that you want per piece of armor. I mean, retroactively, yeah, it does feel like a different game. I'll give you that. Does it feel like a Destiny 3? No.
Wait, it could be. When we get there, it could be. It could feel like a completely new Destiny.
Yeah, and yet they're bringing. It looks like they're bringing back Kvostov. I don't know if it's the white Kvostov or if it's the exotic one. Either way, if you're gonna bring back Kvostov and not Zalo Supercell, Kvostov better be good. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Whatever. We got a whole new Destiny, and then the very first gun you've ever picked up in D1. So,
what do you mean bring back? Nitedemon has it in his vault still. I guarantee you. I just deleted mine the other day, going, "All right, it's time to let you go. You don't need to be here anymore."
Yeah,
I don't think it's like Destiny 3 in terms of all new things. I think it's a lot of the things they've been talking about doing, coming to fruition. Simplifying the economy, continuing to put the focus on ritual playlists and stuff. Bringing, like we've said for years, bringing things into the game. Let me do things in game. I want to build craft, do it in game. I want to LFG, let me do it in game.
Crafting. Yep.
Like I want to actually, while the third-party community is fantastic and absolutely vital to play this game, it's nice to see people who are newer to it, or younger kids who don't have a tablet, phone, whatever sitting next to them. Let me play the game in the game without sort of needing a third-party application to do all the things I want to do.
So you're still going to use them, because as far as I'm aware, they didn't let you get your armor from the vault yet.
Well, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, it's not that we're going to stop doing the things we're doing now, but just you have another option. Or if you're brand new and don't know these things exist yet, some of that is actually going to be in the game. And for the love of God, simplifying the economy. When they were like, "Hey, we're gonna give you an element or give you a thing in the game to go spend. We're gonna tell you where to spend it and what it is and why. And we're not going to name 7 different things, Seraph this, that, or the others." You're going, wait, how many Seraph things do I have? Oh wait, that's last season's Seraph things.
Oh, that's an Umbral energy? What's the difference between an Umbral energy and an Umbral engram?
Exactly. Right? Just making things easier to understand. It's like you have 1,000 currencies. Simplify it. Thank you. Thank you for simplifying it.
But don't make everything cost stupid amounts of legendary shards either. So let's keep a balance there.
And I will give them credit though, and bring back challenge. They did say the name of that one game type exactly one time. If you control it, it is there.
I think it's because
there at least
they can't take it out because it upholds the other pillars. So if they take one pillar out, everything collapses. So they can't take it away. So they have to mention it. It's still there as a pillar.
Drifter has them. He knows where the bodies are. If
he's definitely Drifter, blackmailing them. 100%.
The game all goes downhill. Yeah, I mean that's why it's still there. That's clearly the answer here.
So Respawn.
Yeah.
Everything hurts now. You've got your wish. Well, I guess it wasn't a wish. It was like you said, please don't let this be a thing. It is now kind of thing, because we were talking about resilience last week.
It is.
Well, I mean, again, Bungie say how much, that depends on you. And then they talk about philosophy. Philosophically. That's the word they say.
The Velociraptor?
Yeah.
Philanthropy? What?
Yeah. Philosophically. They're attempting to bring the difficulty level of Legend closer to the popular Legendary campaign experience and Master experience close to the Day 1 raid experience. So, here's a breakdown of the changes that are coming to several high difficulty activities, starting with Lightfall. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break it down like it's Chinatown. I'm not sure if that's meant to be the same thing, but here we go. The basics of high difficulty activities. So Adept, which, I mean, I was talking with the guys yesterday when I was on stream. Adept is pretty much like, if you're doing an Adept Nightfall, I don't see that there's much difficulty change in an Adept to just doing a regular strike. Do you guys? It might be a little
I'm not sure I've ever actually run one.
I don't even know what Adept is.
Well, there you go then. So Adept difficulty is being removed. So then you don't know what it is unless you play it today or tomorrow. You won't know what it is. And you won't
is that
care.
The first one, the easy mode one? Is that what that is? Oh.
Easy mode Nightfall. But again, I think it gives you a kind of taster of what it's like to be a Nightfall. But again, it's not that far off of just playing a strike. And
they don't even have any champions in it, right?
No, they don't. Yeah. Not Adept. Hero difficulty will now be available at 1750 power, which will be the soft cap Respawn. Legend and Master difficulties can be entered once you hit 1800, which is the power cap. Here we go again. Power cap, soft cap.
So we're going up. Wait a second. Hold on. Wait.
Hang on. He's just tweaked. It's not 10 levels.
Math. Right.
It's going up 10 levels.
Normally, soft cap between seasons was 50 level, 50 or 60, right? If I remember correctly. This is a 110 light level jump, dude.
But you remember last expansion, Witch Queen, I think we jumped up 300 levels in light, didn't we?
Did we?
I'm sure it was something like that.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm just used to them being like between seasons, like a 50 light level difference or something.
Yeah, this isn't between seasons. This is expansion. So
it's the big jump. Expansions. Sorry, yeah.
It's the big jump now. So we're going from 1600 up to 1750, and that would be the soft cap. And then that would be like any drops that you kind of get in the world will take you up to 1750. So if you do the Legend campaign, I think last time they guaranteed you that you would get up to the soft cap. So if you complete the Legend campaign, solo or with the team, that should get you up to 1750, which will get you into hero difficulty in Nightfall or whatever hero difficulty. I'm guessing it's just basically
like medium difficulty, something probably. Yeah.
So hero difficulty for the Nightfalls, basically. So that should get you there. Legend and Master difficulties can be entered once you hit 1800 power, which is the power cap. So that is any powerful engrams that you get, even pinnacle engrams. So that will get you up to that. So Legend and Master. And then activity levels for Season 20 are Hero is 1770, Legend is 1830, and Master is 1840. And they're implementing power level disadvantages to provide a better challenge curve. So Hero will be -5 power levels, Legend will be -15 power levels, Master will be -20 power levels, and Grandmasters will be -25 power levels, which is, I think, what it is at the moment. So
yeah, that is what it is. Yeah.
And we all know the best game in the world is being removed, and that's match game, because we don't like it. And mismatched shields will now take 50% less damage across the whole game. So if you're shooting somebody that's
The
got an arc
whole
shield,
game, even outside of Nightfalls. Ooh.
but yeah, that's his whole game. So if you're shooting somebody with an arc shield with something that's solar, 50% less damage across the whole game.
So they got rid of matchmaking, the name, and put. I'm sorry, not matchmaking.
They've taken out match game. They made the entire game match.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was getting to. You didn't take it out. You made it global.
I think, to be honest, match game was a little bit of a
giant pain.
Yes,
it is, and now they made it across the whole game. So
no, but
yeah, but there's so many. I mean, there's so many ways to deal with those shields and things. Especially,
yep.
I mean, if you're,
it's called Arbalest. Yeah.
Yeah, or just a team. Say, I'm going to do this flavor, you do that flavor. I mean, there's so many ways to deal with shields. And honestly, even if it's just plinking away at things longer, who cares? You have
because we have that thing on primary guns called adaptive munitions. That's going to come in real handy next season, or moving forward, I guess.
Yeah, well, next season we'll still say next season. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know what adaptive munitions is, it's if you're shooting a shield that does not match the type of your gun, every hit does more damage until it gets to a cap, right? And then if you have armor piercing rounds on top of that, you do additional damage on top of that additional damage. So yeah, armor piercing with adaptive munitions is going to be really, really handy, it sounds like. And you can craft an auto rifle, at least one auto rifle, and at least one scout rifle that have that. So there you go.
And the scout rifles, for instance, will give you an extra 166% damage per hit, up to 500% extra damage.
Woo!
On adaptive munitions. Because Dim tells you the breakdown of what does more damage by thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adaptive munitions, as you are, well, if you're hearing this before you clean out all of your year-end inventory things, if you see adaptive munitions fly by on something, maybe hang on to it.
Maybe. But I found that even with match game on, some exotic weapons, and like Le Monarch and Tiku's Divination, seem to kind of get round those shields a little bit easier than something else that you're using. So, with Le Monarch, you had the poison, which kind of ticked down their shield and tick them down as well, basically. And then Tiku's with just explosions of fire. I find I used that during the legendary campaign with the Witch Queen, and that's all I used throughout that whole first kind of couple of times I was playing it, and it worked fantastic against every shield. I don't know if it's going to be one of those things that's just going to work consistently.
Volatile rounds works pretty good too. The explosive does really good shield damage too.
So there are little things in the game that you can kind of exploit, but not kind of exploit, kind of thing. Yeah.
So and then there's Arbalest.
So you're telling me Bungie wants us to build craft. That's what I'm hearing is Bungie wants us to build craft.
Mm-hmm. Oh, pro tip. So what I did to help clean your vault, because it's that time of season, right?
Yeah.
Obviously you're going to be deleting some weapons, but the majority of my spots was armor, actually. Right? Mm-hmm. Different armor pieces and this and that and the other. So I went through all of my sets that I use commonly. Not every single set, but all my common ones. Like, my primary arc, my primary void, my primary solar, whatever. Those primary builds, kept all those weapons, kept all that armor, right? And then I went through some other ones like my the one with all the eyeballs on it where I can keep everybody invisible. I made that build, kept those armor pieces. And once you have these armor pieces marked, delete everything else. Because especially now that and we do those builds. I'm sorry. First, we do those builds with whatever you've got in your inventory to make sure you don't have anything better to make those builds better. And then after you've got your armor set up, you don't need any other armor pieces in your vault. Obviously, you've got the strongest builds that you have, so even the other quote good armor pieces you have in your vault aren't going to do you any good. They're not part of any of your builds. Delete all of that. And I opened up like 300-400 slots in my armor or in my vault just by doing that. And I had no idea I had that much armor. And that includes the exotics, right? Because once you have your exotics for your build, you don't need the other exotics because, again, they're not better for your build because you've already got the best version. And D2 Armor Picker is the way to go to do this. I forgot to mention that. D2 Armor Picker is the best way to make these builds with max stats for all of your armors, at least for now, right? So if you do that, you get all your builds, get all your armor for those builds, delete everything else. Easy way to clean out your vault real fast and in a good way.
Yeah. And Mijago, who does the work on D2 Armor Picker, did say it will be updated for Lightfall. Obviously, not day one, which is another disclaimer we should throw out there. Remember, day one, all of your favorite Destiny apps are not going to have all the things in Lightfall in them. Some of it might be there, but there may be things, that have been added to the game where they're going to go, hey, once we get our hands on the APIs and see how these work, they will get added, but they're not going to be there the moment you hit the game.
Yeah,
D2 Armor Picker is fantastic, and DestinyRecipes.com/vault will also do some vault cleaning, and you can tag things like, like to Respawn's points, you can tag it and just say, if it's in a loadout, tag it as keep. And then anything not in a loadout, it'll tell you, hey, these are just random armor pieces. And I know Nighdemon's over there twitching at the thought of just deleting mass amounts of armor. So Nitedemon, what would you do to get down to 599 of 600 where you'll start Lightfall?
Well, I'm at 560 actually.
Ooh, good job.
599 of 600.
I've got my vault down. I deleted about 50 items. I was quite ruthless.
Yeah, 50 ruthless. Those are the two words that come to mind.
But also, what I said, I was talking with the guys on stream, is that at the end of the day, exotic weapons you can still pull out, unless it's something like the Hawk Moons or the DMTs that you've got the specific rolls on. But anything
you'll be able to craft next season anyway, from what I understand, right?
Not next season, but it's coming at some point. But say I've got a Suros regime, right? 1350. Do I need that at this point in time? Probably not, because if I'm going to take it into like Iron Banner and play Iron Banner, or if I'm going to play Crucible with it, it doesn't need to be at the power level. It's only if I need to take it into trials, or I need to take it into a day one raid kind of situation. At that point, if that's something I need, I can pull it back out of collections and then just infuse something into it to make it to that power level. At the moment, I mean, I'm seeing that there's a lot of exotic weapons that I can just delete, and I could probably get down another maybe 50 items out of my vault, so I could actually have 100 spaces free. So that could be one way if you are struggling like me to, as long as you're not kind of attached to the kill count on it. I know, I appreciate that some people are attached to the kill counts on it. Take a picture, it lasts longer. Just add it up. Take when you get more kills on it, add it up to the next picture. But I'm sentimental about other things. Other people are sentimental about other things. So I get the idea. But I know what you're saying, Peroty, about telling people there's disclaimers that not everything's going to be updated as and when. It's a bit like our This Week in Destiny. Can't do a This Week in Destiny, or we could, but it'll only give you half the information, which I could give you now for Next Week in Destiny. I can tell you that your Crucible rotator is going to be Rift. Your Nightfall is going to be the Proving Grounds. Your rotating raid will be the Last Wish, and your dungeon will be the Prophecy. That's all we know so far, because Lightfall starts and all the APIs kind of get updated. So I can't tell you what's going to be in the other verse until day one. We can't tell you what any of the other rotators are, what the stuff on Europa is going to be, the stuff on the moon, stuff on for the Throne World. If you're still playing all of that, you're going to have to wait until that day that we put out a video. So yeah, just thought I'd get that out there now.
Yeah, just like all your lost sectors, they're going to be something.
Yeah,
once we know what they are, all your lost sector sites will build that rotation as it happens.
Yeah,
we all get to learn live.
8 or 9 days. Sometimes it goes. I think last time it went to about 10 or 11 days. The previous season, before it kind of did a full rotation. So we have to kind of take each day as we go to then compile the list and then put it into a rotation. So as soon as you know, we know, we'll let you know what it's going to be for the following week. But back to the challenge of Bungie challenging us. Burns in high-level activities will be split into surges and threats. Surges increase your outgoing damage. Surge increase elemental damage by 25%, which is what it is now when you have the burns on. And surge for high difficulty activities changes every season based around the featured damage type. Ooh, that's new. Featured surge for Season of Defiance will be Strand. Oh, who didn't see that one coming?
Actually, no, because how many times have they introduced something new like Void 3.0 and everything in game is solar burn, right? So I mean, no, this is out of character for them.
No, it's in character. Don't you take their character away from them.
I remember Arc Week. Okay, I remember Arc Week. Go get solar kills on everything.
Yep.
The weekly rotating surges will be solar and void, and that's for
Once again, sorry, Arc and Stasis. Nobody cares about you.
No, but
Which is funny because Stasis is the subclass where I have the closest to quad 100s. I have 100, 180. It's like
But nobody plays Stasis. As everyone has posted and seen in their year in review email, nobody plays Stasis.
This season, Stasis was actually good for high level content because Stasis, my abilities handle Unstoppable and Overload. Just my abilities. So I just need something for armor piercing.
You saying that we're getting these emails? I'm not receiving these emails. I heard about one of the emails last night. It was read to me. Oh, you've achieved something in Destiny. Oh, what's this? You've done something in Destiny. It means you've played Destiny. No. Oh, we'll delete that. It's like that's the last I heard of that. So I haven't seen this email that everyone else is talking about and showing their pictures. I cannot find it. It's been binned and the bin's been binned. So
how do we go to an email? When did this jump happen? What email? What? We went from Stasis being a good subclass better than people think to
Peroty
an email that nobody knows about.
No, Peroty was telling you about the email that people got.
Many people know about. Many of us got a year in review Destiny 2 email that shows us how where we ended all of our seasons, our dungeon and raid clears, our trials matches, what percentage of our subclasses we've played,
which were all wrong.
The fact that nobody plays Stasis. I mean, your top exotic kills. I mean, lots of good information. Which I wish it was like on a little profile page I could go look at Bungie and it wasn't just an email. But at least hey, I appreciate them doing it.
I appreciate the thought that they put into doing it for me. Thank you, Bungie. Getting back to threats, they're increasing the elemental damage coming from enemies by 25%. So it's down from 50%. So I think that's just general across the board when you have the surge and the threats. But then high level activities now features overcharge weapons. Overcharge weapons deal 25% more damage. Kinetic damage 50? Is also increased by 25% if using a surging subclass. Sorry.
Does that mean 50%? So if you have a weapon whose element is surged,
I think we've gone over this before. Unless they say it's 50%,
weapon, right? So if you have an overcharged weapon and that weapon matches the surge, so that's 25 and 25. You would be led to believe.
This is where I'm going to point you and all of our dear listeners to the Destiny Massive Breakdowns Players versus Enemies community, where they will have answers to all of these questions and more.
As soon as the season goes live, yes.
Yes, because these are all the questions where they absolutely excel at going, does this stack, does this not stack, how do all these numbers work out?
Or they cheat and they just go, Mercules, come back on and help us.
Either way, whatever tools you have at your disposal.
Yeah, it's got to be 50 because look at the next line. Kinetic damage is also increased by 25% if using a surging subclass. So you really think they're going to have kinetic weapons do the same amount of damage as a surging weapon? Like that? No, it's got to be 50. It's got to be 50.
And what have we learned from this? Do not assume anything. Overcharged weapons can come from several sources. Currently, weapon sets per activity, weapons featured as champion counters on seasonal artifact, and that's it. Overcharges and surges do not stack. Overcharged weapons do not get extra damage if they are also surging.
Damn. No 50.
No, there you go. You only need one for a given damage source. Combatants are harder to stagger, and their health has been increased across the board.
Oh,
There's a
come
big board,
on.
and they've been increased across the whole of it.
It's already hard to stop Unstoppables, man. Now it's going to be even harder to stop them?
Yes.
Respawn, the entire article is called Bring Challenge. So, I mean, you should have seen where this was going.
No, but Respawn, we went over this a couple of weeks ago.
To begin with, right?
But we went over this a couple of weeks ago. There are new things that you can do, including the new strand abilities. Remember the ability things that they said?
Yes,
you can now abilities are now kind of tied to dealing with champions.
Overload being a little harder. I don't mind anti-barrier being a little harder. The Unstoppable is my complaint because they're already bugged with how much it takes to stop them, man.
But there's other ways to stop them. You don't have to wait for that overload charge round to kind of be working. Basically, you can now do abilities and things that will actually help.
Just bathe them in Witherhoard till they stop struggling.
Yeah.
Or next season, bathe them in Anarchy. Oh. I can't wait till that goes back in my heavy slot.
So now they've been increased across the board. This is to compensate for surge and overcharge. The effect is strong on powerful enemies and weaker on rank and file. So what is not changing, Respawn? Well, equipment is still locked on Legend and Master difficulties as well as Grandmasters. Matchmaking is still available on Hero, but closed on Legend, Master, and Grandmaster.
That's basically the same. That's the same as it was. They just took Adept.
No, Legend has matchmaking.
Does it?
Yes.
Are you sure? Isn't Legend the 1580 level this season?
No, it's here. It's.
Hang on, he's just going
to look. The first two.
Adept and Hero have matchmaking.
Oh, Adept! I forgot about Adept. Damn it.
And they've well, good. You should because Adept is going away. So everyone's just forget about Adept.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hero, which is the second hardest this season, will now be the easiest next season. The easiest level. We'll still have your matchmaking. The other three have always you've needed to fire team for will be the same because that is not changing. So what else is not changing, Nitedemon?
Well, modifiers that affect enemy types, including Fire Pit, for example, or Fire Team Coordinate, which is Chafe and Togetherness. That's not changing. Champions availability remains the same, and Grandmaster Nightfalls revive limitations, wipe conditions, and schedules stay the same.
Oh,
so the revive limitations is you can kill up to 20 champions. You can't go any more than you can go more than that, but they just won't accrue any extra revive points unless you use one. So you can go up to 20 and then kill yourself and get revived and get another one. But yeah, that's as far as that goes. And then once the time runs out, you can't revive anybody. And if you use up all your revives, then you don't get any more. That's it. And if you die in a no spawning zone, respawning zone, that's the one, then your whole team wipes and you go back to orbit. That's still staying the same. So yeah.
When I was reading this earlier, it looked like right now today, your 25% damage and your 50%, that's the same thing. Like it's solar for both, arc for both.
Yes.
So with surge and threats, are those going to stay the same? Or yeah, so they could be different. So it could be, hey, I need to do solar to deal more damage, but my arc incoming damage could be greatly increased. So they're making that a little, not harder to build craft around, but at least, something to be aware of, hey, if you're going into a mob of knights and they're all going to shoot arc at you and arc is the threat, maybe take that threat very seriously.
But not just that, but if you read up, right? So the enemies are going to do plus 25% damage to us, whereas they were doing plus 50% damage to us right here, right? They were doing plus 50% damage to your guardian. But when the previously mentioned change happens, they'll just be doing 25% more damage to us for their burns or whatever, right? So in that one aspect, it is going to be easier because at least you're not getting hit so hard with elemental damage as we have been thus far.
True.
Okay. I was waiting for y'all to say I got something wrong. I was like, what did I miss? But okay.
They do go on to say that, where they're changing it prior to season 20, it was 25 and the 50%, but now they want you to be a bit more flexible and you're dealing with the shields. So, like they said, and like Peroty was saying, that it's if arc is the burn and you're receiving 50% incoming of arc and you're using only, giving out an extra 25%, they want to kind of mix things up, so make it a little bit more interesting, a bit like we have with Lost Sectors sometimes, where it says the shields avoid and it gives you a stasis burn. You're like, how is this a thing? But now it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you're going into a Lost Sector now, these things will actually apply. So you're looking out for your surging and your overcharge and your threats as well will kind of change, which means I've got to update the Lost Sectors as well, I guess, when I tell you about the Lost Sector stuff.
Ritual activity is at the core of Destiny 2 experience. That's why we have plans to improve on these familiar playsets that we all cherish so much today. We are focusing on the Vanguard Ops playlist.
Do we cherish them, though? Really?
Strike refreshes. Lake of Shadows and Arms Dealer are being updated with... Oh God, why would they let those die? Lake of Shadows and Arms Dealer are being updated with new enemies, new encounters, and new mechanics, and new objectives. Expect them to be much tougher than before and less Sparrow-friendly. We're working on adjusting other strikes like Exodus Crash and the Inverted Spire. Their presence on the Vanguard Ops playlist has been dramatically reduced, and they won't be a part of the Nightfall rotations until brought to parity. Are you, yeah, I mean, what's going on, Parody?
I will be reviewing all of the changes to Exodus Crash and Inverted Spire. That's, I'm not working for Bungie. I mean, it's a lucrative contract, yes. They will bring things to me for my review and acceptance.
Playtesting, gotcha, cool. The Vanguard Ops playlist. PsyOps Battlegrounds and Heist Battlegrounds will become part of the Vanguard Ops playlist. How interesting. The playlist is now power disabled, like Gambit and Crucible. This means you won't have damage advantage over enemies or them upon you, no matter how high your power level is. Daily rotators and weekly singes have been removed and replaced with one random weekly surge and one random daily threat, in addition to one daily random modifier from our Best Of collection, including Subtle Foes, Lightning Crystals, and more. Vanguard Ops scoring. We're adding a scoring system to the Vanguard Ops playlist. Just like in Nightfalls, you earn points for killing enemies and other events, precision kills, picking up orbs, reviving teammates, etc., with a multiplier based on the specific strike. The higher your score, the larger your Vanguard rank multiplier will be. You get a ×1 multiplier on Vanguard rank for earning below 30,000. The multiplier increases every 5,000 points after the initial 30,000, and the largest multiplier available is ×7 for getting over 250,000 points. This applies to all Vanguard modes, including Nightfalls.
You know what this says to me? This says to me, stop speeding through the strikes and just getting from one end to the other and getting them done as quick as possible. If you stay the distance and take some time and shoot some enemies and get a high score, this could drastically reduce the amount of kind of time that you actually spend in the strike playlist, because you could get up to a 7 times multiplier. And then if you get that on a week where they do double XP, you'd be laughing. Just take your time, shoot all the enemies, bish bash bosh, and Bob is your uncle, and Fanny is your aunt.
I actually have an Aunt Fanny. Real talk. All right. Vanguard. I said that. Vanguard challenges. The Vanguard screen challenges are being adjusted to reflect these changes. To complete the weekly Vanguard challenge, you will now need to complete Vanguard activities with a surging subclass. It can be either seasonal surges for Nightfalls, or the Vanguard Ops weekly surge. Complete all 5 activities. You get increased progress for harder difficulties, and a single Grandmaster completes the challenge. Full stop.
So you're telling me I'm going to be playing a lot of Strand, a lot of Void, and a lot of Solar in Vanguard
I'm telling
Ops.
you, you're just going to be playing Strand. It's Strand.
Probably, dude, Strand comes out the box broken as hell, it looks like. If you're using anything besides Strand, you might actually be hurting yourself.
And if you're using a Hunter or a Titan, you're hurting yourself even more. Best thing to do is Warlock.
I disagree. No.
You would.
No, when I throw a throwing knife and it hits everybody in an area, I'm good with that. I'm very okay with that.
Yeah, but my little Threadlings are going to get you.
That's fine. We'll see.
All Threadlings.
All the Threadlings.
So
I'm
many
gonna find
Threadlings.
I'm gonna find
From
his
what I
Threadlings.
understand,
I'm gonna use
from
his
what I
Threadlings.
understand, all I
get
have to
you
do
all the
is
Threadlings.
jump, and your Threadlings are useless.
Yeah,
Right,
you've
just
got
wait.
you've got to land, and they will come find you. They will hunt you down. In fact, I'm going to name all of my Threadlings John Wick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You can only hold 8. How are you gonna get 10?
I'm going to have 10. I'm borrowing 2 from him over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Is that how that works?
that
They're
is.
gonna bring
Well,
friends.
until that happens, Nightfalls are dark and full of
In fact,
terrors.
why didn't they just change? No, I'm sorry. I'm taking this train off the tracks. Why didn't they just call? Why didn't they just call those Threadlings John Wicks? That would have been fantastic.
I'm
Couldn't
pretty
get-
sure
couldn't get the
copyright might
rights.
have,
Couldn't get the rights quick enough.
JWs, yeah.
maybe.
There you go. Sorry,
Maybe if you look close enough, the little threads inside the Threadlings spell JW. Who knows?
could be.
Take a look. Nightfalls are getting a tad more challenging, to the point to where you'll have to think twice before jumping into one without a proper build. Take one thing into consideration. Once you reach the maximum effectiveness level, how high your power level is won't make a difference. Or how many extra artifact levels you have, for that matter. Battlegrounds will slowly become a part of the Nightfall playlist. What? Oh no. Starting with Mars Heist Battleground. I am oh no. Oh no.
I'm just gonna long time listener, first time caller, huh?
Yeah, no, that's not fun. 2 surges available. Threats dependent on featured Nightfall. 1 featured overcharged weapon, and combatants are harder to stagger and have more health. We'll get into Nightfall activity levels for Season 20. Hero 1770. Legend 1830. Master 1840. And Grandmaster is 1840. Isn't the max light you can get 1800?
No,
I thought the soft cap was 1790 and the max was 1800. Up when you read it earlier.
no. When I read it earlier, I told you what the soft cap was and what the hard cap, the power cap was.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
So power cap is 1800. So that's the powerful cap. So there'll be a hard cap, which is 1810.
Still, that's more than 25. They said you're gonna have because your artifact. That's right. Never mind. Okay, so power delta disadvantages. Heroes -5 power levels. Legend -15 power levels. Master -20 power levels, and Grandmaster -25 power levels. Now, does that mean it takes your existing light and subtracts 25, or it's just 25 from 1840? Because right now you're locked 25 below the cap for the Grandmaster. No matter what your light level is, right? Let's say 25 below, right now it's 1600, right? 1575, you're good to go. As long as your light is 1575 currently. Now, this right here, is this telling me that if I go in as 1575, it's actually going to take 25 away and I'm going in as 1550?
Well, if you carry on reading.
Okay, fair enough. Hero 1765, Legend 1815, Master 1820, and Grandmaster 1815. The Nightfall Weekly Challenge now requires you to attain 200,000 points across multiple Nightfall runs, rather than 100,000 points in a single run.
Which means your pinnacle will now have to be multiple Nightfalls that you have to run.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on the level of it, so if you run, I'm guessing it's going to be like something silly, like if you run 3 or 4, the heroes will be the same comparable to if you run 3 legends or 2 master and then maybe just 1 grandmaster.
Well, the Grandmasters, it's
Nice
currently
change,
it's pretty easy to get above 200,000.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably just 1 grandmaster, but whereas if it's legend or if it's master, it's 2 legend, 3 hero, it would be 4.
I'm thinking you might be right. Yeah. So you got master raids and dungeons get power delta treatment. Yo, we're using the phonetic alphabet. Let's go. We know the master difficulty experience for dungeons and raids has its flaws. So we're making a few changes that those looking for a challenge should certainly find appealing. 1 overcharged weapon, 2 surges, no threat modifier, combatants don't have increased health or increased stagger resistance, and we want to bring them in line with other mastery experiences without the need to build craft towards surges or overcharges. We've also tuned enemy health pools so that you completely ignore elemental build crafting. You'll experience day 1 raid-like combat difficulty after that. You can choose elemental or overcharge bonuses to make it easier. Additionally, the threat modifier is turned off in raids and dungeons so that enemies won't be doing more damage than on day 1.
Are you happy with this? Is this something that, because you play a lot of raids and dungeons, would you rather see it more like the Nightfalls, where it has the surges and it has the overcharges, to make it maybe a little bit more challenging? Because as far as I'm aware, that this is where the challenge should be. In you work your way up through the Nightfalls, and you get to the point of honing your build crafting and your fire team, and then you take it into dungeons, and then you take it into master raids and things like that. Are you happy with this, that they're not putting those on and they're doing something else?
Yeah, because I'm not a difficulty chaser. I want the loot from the high level activities, right? I'm not one of those that are just like, oh man, it's too easy, make it harder. No, just hey, make it easier for me. I don't care. Put me on a conveyor belt that just walks me right to the boss. I don't care, right?
So basically, you want to wake up, you want to strap on your pants, put on your shirt, grab your throwing knives, and bring that in each and every week. Don't have to think too much about what I'm going to face, what should I build craft for this thing this week. Go into the dungeon and go, I've got my loadout. I know what to expect. We're going to mow through you guys.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's something attractive about that versus the Nightfall going, okay, who are we fighting this week? What are we fighting? What should I bring? Versus going, I know what I'm up against. Let me bring the kit. I know it's going to work. Oh, I'm trying my buddy through this. Let me grab this. Let me Sherpa you through this. Let me roll through this. Since I know what to expect.
Like a Grandmaster, you got to spend the first 30 minutes getting all 3 of you to make sure you got all the elements covered, make sure you got all the champions covered, make sure that, if there is one weapon that is specifically good for this particular Nightfall, you grab that. Whereas raids, it's just like, all right, encounter 1, anybody got a Gallowhorn? Great. Encounter 2, who's Div Bitch? Okay, great. Encounter 3, jumping puzzle. Encounter 4, whatever, right? So it's not that complicated.
This is where I've been going wrong all this time. When I've been getting ready for a Grandmaster, I've just been dancing in the tower with people. This is where I've been going wrong all this time.
That is a very important aspect of the game, but I'm not sure it's going to help your Grandmaster. Masters, you can absolutely dance in the tower, and then 2-man Master, no problem.
Honestly, it builds morale for the team, so that when I go down first, they go, it's that Joker we had in the tower.
Yeah.
If you're dancing in the tower, then people aren't going to look to you to be the Sherpa. They're going to look to you as being the goof, so then when you go down, it's fine.
Or I'm the bullet sponge, or not even say bullet sponge. One bullet tickled me on the side of my arm, and that I was down.
Aren't you the one that's supposed to be like the tough one?
But the bullet attractor.
Yeah, bullet attractor, yeah.
There you go. What about you? Is this going to encourage you guys to go into high level activity after this? Do raids more often?
I don't know, to be honest. I think the thing, like I said at the beginning, is basically I'm happy to do the big initial grind. I'm hopeful that it's going to be quite a long season, or a decent amount of a season, that you can get to that pinnacle power, and then I don't have to worry about it in the following seasons. And in the following seasons, I am more than happy to, rather than spend my time grinding out my power level again, and go and focus on doing a dungeon, go and focus on doing raids, and then maybe possibly helping Sherpa people through those things.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this should help you do raids, right? Because raids, if you're looking at this, now with a raid, you get 1 overcharged weapon and 2 surges, right? AKA, you're going to be doing more damage in raids just by picking the overcharged weapon or one of the 2 surge subclasses, right? That doesn't exist in current raids. You don't get extra damage for anything. It's across the board. You versus the game, and you versus, I guess, Bungie spaghetti code, because the game will kill you more than enemies 9 times out of 10, right?
The architects, we know who they are.
The warlocks.
Yeah. Even if you change your name, we still know. But but now if you get an overcharged weapon and 2 surges, that alone is going to make raid time easier, because now you have extra damage against them, and I don't know, possibly they have extra damage against you, maybe. But yeah, I think will make raids easier, right? And I hope that encourages more people to do raids. That's why I was asking you. Does this sound good for you? Are you, Peroty, more likely to go do a raid now that you know that you're going to get damage bonuses?
I'd be more likely to do a raid if I had the time to go and spend the time in the raids.
Yeah.
Like, raiding for me has never been I don't feel powerful enough. I don't feel strong enough. It's always been trying to find the time and the play schedule to go in and do raids, with LFG groups that I feel confident enough will get through the raid. Period. Full stop. Because there's LFG and then there's
don't
LFG.
Do an LFG group. You have people like me that's in the same time zone as you, and I have people that raid with me that are competent. So just get a team that can do a raid. Don't LFG it, right? Because when you get with a competent team, the time factor goes out the window. Like my team can complete almost any raid in under an hour. Some of them under 30 minutes, right? So they don't take as much time as you think they do. You can do some of these raids in less time it takes you to do
you could use that
Nightfall.
thing that we have in our show notes, which is called the 100.io.
But you don't know those people. You don't know how good they are.
I mean, there's plenty of ways and places for me to do this. Like to be clear, this is totally a me problem. This has nothing to do with like a lack of tools or a lack of knowledge. This is totally a me problem going, I've got 45 minutes while I'm trying to cook dinner to go play Destiny. That's not really a good time to go raiding. Hey, I have an hour before I record the show in the morning. I can jump onto Destiny. Not really the best time to try to throw a raid together. And often if I had a block, sort of like what Nitedemon's been able to do, saying, hey, I'm going to go stream from, this hour to this hour on every Wednesday or something, that would make it a lot easier to go, okay, I have this block of time. It's dedicated for this. Now I can go, let me go find a raid group. Let me go put something together. As it is, it's sort of this is a haphazard, hey, I might text a buddy and go, hey, I'm going to jump on Destiny for a while. Or I might just say, hey, I have an hour or two. Let me go jump on Destiny, knock some things out. Like I said, this is totally a me issue, not a game issue or anything else issue.
All right. I think this is going to make raids easier. I'm kind of looking forward to it. So, and dungeons. So, yeah.
So Bungie apparently are aware that lost sectors and weekly campaign missions are not as rewarding as the community would like.
That's
totally in agreement, and they're in agreement. Same thing with Dares of Eternity and the Wellspring. The passion around them is appreciated, and your feedback is always clear. They not only should be a bit more challenging, and here are plans to improve not only them, but other activities too. So lost sectors are also getting overcharged weapons and 2 surges. Threats, depending on the featured lost sector. Combatants are harder to stagger and have more health. Available in Legend and Master difficulties. Lost sector features plus 20 combatants delta rather than the minus 15 or minus 20. And they'll be monitoring the completion rates and times during Season 20 to see if exotic engram drop rates need to be adjusted. Now, I think it didn't help this past season.
That's going to make lost sectors a lot easier, especially if you're soloing for armor. Oh, yeah.
But I don't think that it helped this past season that they didn't have the 3 featured exotics for people to go into lost sectors. I did one only because the challenge said you've got to go and do a Legend or Master lost sector. And I was like, oh, I've got to the last week and I haven't even done one. So I'll just run through one quickly. There was no incentive for me as an experienced player to go through there and get anything because there was nothing in there that I hadn't already got. I mean, again, like I said,
the only reason to go in there is to get better versions of the armor you've already got.
Yes, but like I said at the beginning, this season was a shorter season, so it wasn't the season for me to go, hey, I'm going to spend the next 6 days in a lost sector farming out for better rolls exotics. This wasn't that season. So I think
even the next 2 hours in a lost sector, I did the same thing. I ran exactly 1 for the weekly challenge and just picked a random day and said, what is it? Let me go run through it real quick. Yeah, there's no reason to set foot into them. There's nothing I need out of them. There's nothing. Yeah, I mean, other than the nebulous, maybe I get another version, but on the Titan, I've got 57 pairs of arms. Well, maybe I'll get the right pair of arms that I want and a good drop on it. Yeah, no, it's not worth worth the time commitment. I've got ones that work. We're good. We're good there.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what they're there for. You in particular don't have enough time, but that's why they exist, is to give you a jump start on the season's exotics, so you can go ahead and get those, hopefully quicker or not. I hear different things from different people how easy it is, but that and to re-roll existing armor. Let's say you really really like your Heart of Innermost Light, but it sucks. You have a 30 spike in intelligence and a 25 spike in mobility. That's not going to do you any good, So you want a better version of Heart of Innermost Light. That's, you go to the lost sectors, get a better one. That's the primary focus, the primary goal.
You hope you get a better one.
And like I've just mentioned, that previous to this past season, the only way to get the new exotic armor pieces was to go and run the legendary lost sectors or the master lost sectors. Apparently, next season there will be additional paths to acquire Lightfall exotic armor that you can discover on 28th of February.
Where are you reading that from? I don't see that.
The next line in the TWAB.
Oh, he's in the TWAB now?
Challenge, sorry, in the bringing challenge back. I mean, literally the next line after the line he just read.
Yeah.
Oh.
There will be additional path to acquire.
Oh, there it is.
Nightfall exotic armors, which I am very excited about because I'm so tired of lost sectors. I'm so tired of them.
You don't do any of them. You just said you don't do them.
Well, because there's no reason to. There's no reason to.
You're tired of something you don't do, man. It's like saying, man, I'm so sick and tired of PvP. You don't play. Doesn't matter. I'm tired of it.
Oh, right? That sounds like you, Mister. I don't play PvP, but
because
I'm
I've spent.
I don't say I'm tired of it. I just say I don't play it. I don't like it. I don't say I'm tired of it.
Because I've spent so much time going through the same lost sector over and over and over again in the hopes of getting the one new seasonal thing to drop, because that's the only place I can get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over and over and over again. It is not rewarding. It is not enjoyable. I can't even do it with a friend to have a good time unless we're both running it solo, and that's silly. There is zero reason to do lost sectors. They are not enjoyable.
Quick related sidebar: leveling. Did you save bounties? Either one of you?
No. Absolutely not.
I did. I have 2 pages worth of bounties. And going back to no, not ooh. Listen, going back to that D2 recipes that help you out, right? Yeah. It calculated all the stored experience I have. 2 pages worth of bounties is going to get me to level 4.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's it, dude. Level 4. I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna join a fire team. I'm gonna pound all these out. I'm gonna get to like level 30. Easy. Level 4, and even then, it's barely level 4.
Well, that's always about what it's been. It's never been like a massive bump. It's always just here's a little kickstart to get you going. Grab your new seasonal weapon. Grab your new stuff. Go and plow through these.
How many in total have you got for each character? Is it like you should have about 50
I have 2
odd?
full pages, and I'm working on a 3rd.
No, but you should have on each character. I would say that the maximum that you can hold of quests and bounties is 63. Now, going into Lightfall, do not forget that Bungie have already pre-warned people, so I'm going to warn you as well now, that do not fill up your bounties. Make sure that there is space for at least 4 or 5 quests and bounty items, because if you don't allow for that space, there will be problems, apparently.
No, I think I have
you won't be
the
able
first
to pick
page is
up
28. 28 times 2 is what, 56? I have 56.
Yeah.
On one character only. I have nothing on the Warlock or Titan.
And if you're
that's why you're only getting to level 4 then.
Yeah. And if you're going, what are we talking about? DestinyRecipes.com/checklist will give you a nice rundown of all the things. I apparently have 5 stored bounties. And by stored bounties, I assume it means things that I just forgot to turn in somewhere.
Probably.
But I've got loads of resources and loads of vault space, so we're good there.
Yo, for me, for once too, dude. I'm not struggling for my golf balls, my shards, my.
Well, you were a couple of weeks ago. You were moaning. You've moaned on 2 podcasts now.
Well, okay, I've only got 1,200 legendary shards. Fair enough, but I've got 20 golf balls. I've got 100 prisms. What? You can't get any more than that. You physically can't get any more than that.
Right. Sorry,
no, Respawn they said next season,
but they're stuck in my.
It's going to take 5 golf balls to level up your exotic gear.
What? You lie.
Yes, I am.
Oh. You trying to give me heart palpitations?
Yep, definitely.
I am sitting here in Respawn land because I too am sitting at 11 of 10 Ascendant shards and 61 of 50 enhancement prisms because they're all sitting in my Postmaster. So I need to figure out something to upgrade. I need to pick the second best version of an exotic in my vault to upgrade.
No, that's what I did.
I'm going. I don't want to let these go to waste, but Bungie, it's silly. Like if I get more of these, let me have them. Like I don't need to have 1,000 of them, but let me have 20, 30. Like 10 is a 50. Silly number. Why 10?
50 should be fine. And then you don't let them go to the Postmaster. 50 is the max. Don't let them go to the Postmaster.
You just don't want to let Blues push them out.
Well, you don't have blue issues. But what I'm liking
at the beginning of the season, that's going to come right back.
What I'm liking is the next couple of lines that we're going to go through. So Nightmares, Empire hunts, and campaign weekly missions will
Yep,
also
yep.
gain overcharged weapons, 2 weekly rotating surges.
That
Threat,
looks like it's going to be global. Like everything gets that
depending on the
nowadays.
type of activity, combatants are harder to stagger and have more health again. 3 difficulty settings. Hero is -5 power level, Legend is -15 power level, and Master is -20 power level. So I don't know if they're going to be upping the ante with like. I mean, the weekly story missions do come with a pinnacle reward each week. Each week when we do a refresh. But are they going to be keeping that going? Are they going to go and retroactively give pinnacles because they've never done that before? But to try and keep them fresh in people's kind of peripherals, so to speak, say, maybe make the Witch Queen campaign have a pinnacle at the end of it. I'm just guessing that they won't anyway, because it's normally whatever the new DLC is will be, or the thing for the year. So for the last year we've had Witch Queen, whereas the previous ones were all on Europa. They've all kind of just been turned into normal powerful engrams. But then bringing back more challenge into the nightmares and the Empire hunts, you've got to give people a reason to go in there. I mean, yes, I mean completionists, the people that are coming into the game
But
might still want to
who
play the
still does
nightmares and the
nightmares?
Empire
What do
hunts.
you get from one? Honestly,
I think you can get
that's the stuff on the moon, right? Am I
yeah,
mistaken? That's the moon stuff, right?
yeah.
What's still there? Because you don't get powerful gear. You don't get pinnacle gear. You definitely don't get pinnacle gear. Like, what's the point?
I think you get enhancement cores and things, don't you? If you're in
I have
game,
no idea. That's
you
what I'm
could answer
asking.
the question, couldn't you?
Huh?
Are you in game?
No, I recorded last night, so you
Oh,
guys
fair
stop hearing me click. So
enough. But yeah, I mean, I think there is something minuscule at the moment that they offer you for doing those. And I know that there are triumphs that are tied to doing like master versions of them, and then there's time trial versions of them as well that you can do. But to get people to play them again that have already played them, they've got to add something more. So maybe they'd be offering powerful rewards, not necessarily pinnacles. But the weekly campaign mission normally kind of gets that. Dares of Eternity and Wellspring. Apparently,
that I'm looking forward to. Yo,
2
let's go.
rotating overcharged weapons, weekly rotating surges, 1 threat. Combatants are harder to stagger and have more health. Available in Legend difficulty on Dares of Eternity and Master difficulty on Wellspring. So Extinguish activated on Master. I think that's always been the case.
What's
And team,
extinguished again? Everybody
so
goes to orbit, right?
everybody goes to orbit if your whole
Okay.
team wipes. Yeah, so that's basically. And teams can wipe on a time limit if an objective is failed. Again,
Oh, what?
so
Oh.
when you're doing the Wellspring and you're doing the defend, I think that's the one that sometimes it runs out if you don't keep up the defense of that area. It runs out, and I've experienced that a couple of times that we've kind of all wiped and had to go back. And the same with Dares of Eternity; those things are timed, aren't they, on the Master version? And we've wiped as a team when we've gone in there and played it a couple of times, and where we've just been messing about and actually haven't focused on doing the actual task at hand. We've kind of wiped and gone, oh yes, we were meant to be doing something at this point, like throwing balls at a big blight in the sky.
Actually, I have to move the thing forward.
Yeah.
I just have to laugh where it says 1 threat. There will be 1 threat. That's it. There's one guy. You have to go find him, hunt him down.
But
Only
again,
one guy in Dares.
Saying this, Dares of Eternity, even though it's over a year and it still has a pinnacle attached to the master version, and the Wellspring at the moment, because it was part of the Witch Queen campaign, gave a pinnacle for doing the master version. I wonder if those will still retain those pinnacles for doing it, and that's why they're kind of keeping them in kind of people's minds. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping so as well.
I still don't have my craftable BXR. I haven't gotten a
Oh no, I
single
mean
rib order to drop yet, man.
there'll be reasons for that. People still going in for that. But at the moment, they gave that extra past the year of because it has been more than a year since we had Dares of Eternity, and they updated the loot in there, and then they still kept the pinnacle for the master version. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Dares they seem invested in in that they refresh the loot pool. They've added the red border weapons. Like they seem. Unlike some other game types, they actually seem invested in keeping it giving you a reason to go back into it, even if the gameplay doesn't change. At least the loot there's
It's
something
still pretty
to go
fun
get.
though. I mean, having the chance at unlimited heavy ammo on the regular mode and a guaranteed unlimited heavy ammo on the master mode or legend mode, sorry, is right there. That's pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
You know, no, I mean, but the drop rates, man. Like, I don't know about the drop rates because I've gotten the super rare purple sword before I've gotten one red border BXR. Like, why? It shouldn't be that hard to get, man. And it's just
I feel like they said they tweak it because I have the sword too, and I've run very few dares in the last season
the
or
purple
two.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got that to drop, but then that's it because I just haven't. I forget dares exist.
The purple one's the rare one, isn't it? The super ultra rare. Okay, so yes, if you get the red border of the purple one,
you just need one.
Only need one, don't you?
Yep.
Whereas the blue one, you still need the 3 or 5.
Yep. That's correct.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. I even have that one and don't have a single red border BXR. It's ridiculous, man.
It doesn't exist. It's not a real one.
Well, it does. I've been killed by enough of them.
Yeah.
No, they don't exist.
Seasonal Battlegrounds playlist. So shares the difficulty setting for Season 19's Heist Battlegrounds. The hero difficulty is -5 power level. The weekly rotating surge, same one as Vanguard Ops playlist. Rotating threats. Ooh, rotating threats. They'll just be going around in circles. No overcharge weapons, and combatants have reduced health scaling and regular stagger resistance.
So that's just straight up harder.
So this is going to be a separate.
Oh no, you get a surge. You do get a surge. I'm sorry, I lied to you. You do get a surge.
There's the Vanguard Ops playlist, and there's a Seasonal Battlegrounds playlist. Interesting.
But aren't the battlegrounds going to be, or the older battlegrounds are going to be in the Vanguard Ops? So these are the new battlegrounds.
Seasonal Battlegrounds playlist.
Vanguard? So will this be our new seasonal activity? Presumably, there are going to be new battlegrounds for season 20.
Maybe this is the way we're going now. We're not going to have strikes. We're going to have battlegrounds
and strikes.
No, you don't. You don't get any strikes. That's it.
Well, they're joining the strikes, so you have to have the strikes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are they joining?
Yeah, maybe they're saying we're not going to build new strikes for a while and just build new battlegrounds, and then the ones that people like will throw into the Vanguard Ops playlist. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe,
possibly.
Interesting.
What else is interesting is about rewards. A funny thing happens. What
is it interesting?
Okay. It is interesting because the funny thing happens when you work 6 months ahead and also need to write blog posts. Sometimes you miss some of the elements that help with player understanding. Rewards is one of these. So this is the part that everybody was talking about, how we're getting the harder content, but the rewards are staying the same. Not true. They just forgot to tell us what the rewards are. And here is what they forgot to tell us. On Nightfall Hero, currently, you get a small chance of up to 2 enhancement prisms and 1 enhancement core, and a small chance of up to 2 more. What's going to happen is you're going to get 1 enhancement prism and a medium chance at 1 more, and 2 enhancement cores and a medium chance of 1 more. So they are actually increasing the rewards while they're increasing the difficulty. Nightfall Legend. Right now, you get 1 enhancement prism and a small chance at up to 2 more. You will be getting a small chance of 1 Ascendant Shard, and you'll be getting 2 enhancement prisms and a medium chance of up to 2 more. Nightfall Master, current, medium chance of 1 Ascendant Shard, and 2 prisms and a small chance of up to 2 more. Future, 1 Ascendant Shard guaranteed and a small chance of 1 more, and 2 enhancement prisms guaranteed and a medium chance of up to 2 more. Nightfall Grandmaster. Currently, you get 1 Ascendant Shard guaranteed with a medium chance of 1 more, and you get 4 enhancement prisms with a medium chance of up to 2 more. You will be getting guaranteed Ascendant Shard and a high chance of 1 more, and 4 enhancement prisms with a medium chance of up to 2 more. So that really doesn't change much, except you get a higher percentage chance for a second Ascendant Shard.
So what you're telling me is I can go run a hero level match-made Nightfall, get a guaranteed enhancement prism, and maybe a second one, and get a guaranteed 2 enhancement cores and maybe a third one.
Yes.
Or if I go up 1 level, instead of getting 1 enhancement prism, woohoo, I'm going to get, maybe a shard and definitely 2 prisms.
Yep.
And then if I go to master, I maybe get a shard and 2 prisms. And now you're telling me I'm going to absolutely get a shard and maybe a second one, and then 2 enhancement prisms, and then maybe 2 more on top of that.
Man, you're following like a champ. Look at you.
These are like the you might get a thing and then maybe some more things versus you go into the activity, you're going to get a thing.
Yeah.
This makes me very happy across the board. Like, these are really nice changes. You know, even if it's not the thing you want, you're going to get something out of it. In addition to, the Nightfall weapon, which presumably is half the reason you're running a Nightfall for. And these are really nice changes.
And what's better is they have similar passes done for the Lost Sectors parody.
Ooh, so there might be a reason to go do them. Tell me more.
You have the Lost Sector for Legend. Currently, a small chance of 1 enhancement core. Small chance of 1. You will be getting 2 enhancement cores with a medium chance of 1 more, and 1 enhancement prism with a small chance of 1 more. That's just Legend, right? When you go to Master, you currently have a small chance of up to 2 enhancement cores, and you will be getting 2 enhancement cores guaranteed with a medium chance at a third, and 1 enhancement prism guaranteed with a medium chance at a third.
So other than piles of legendary shards dropping for respawn to collect and be able to spend, these both seem like really good, easy places to go get high level materials.
Yep. And for those that are like, where's
changes?
For those that are complaining, like, where's the ascendant shards for the Lost Sectors? Well, if you're guaranteed to get 1 enhancement prism, you can run 10 Master Lost Sectors and go buy a shard.
Yeah, and presumably it'll take you less than 10 because at some point you'll get another one out of there.
You hope, right? And that's it for the I had a stroke.
For bringing
the challenge back to Destiny.
We have brought all the challenge back. If you're saying I need 1 more golf ball, 1 more ascendant shard, 1 more golf ball to go finish this armor I'm trying to masterwork, to go run my GM, to go run my raid, to go do my thing, having a guaranteed path to those materials is really nice. Saying, let me go knock out a couple of Lost Sectors. Let's go run a Nightfall too. We're going to get guaranteed drops on materials. Yes. To say nothing of, armor and pinnacles and, Nightfall weapon and whatever else you might be hunting for. Guaranteed high level material drops. That they should just call this section that, and everybody would have been, that's great. We're very happy. Moving on. What are you doing? Don't care. So one question I'm still a little confused at, and while I read the TWAB, I didn't see an answer to this, and I'm hoping I didn't just totally miss over it. Overcharge weapons. So are those going to be different kinds of weapons I'm going to have that are overcharged?
So it's going to be like
will it be like
cannon, pulse rifle, auto rifle, submachine gun. It's weapon types that are going to be overcharged.
Okay. So it's not like I'm going to get a auto rifle parenthesis overcharge drop from an activity. My auto rifles will be overcharged.
Yeah, for that activity, all auto rifles in that activity will have overcharge. Yeah.
Okay, so just like I can put like an anti-barrier mod, it's like a mod, but it's an effect being applied. Okay, because that's what I was thinking it was. It wasn't going to be we have adept weapons and then we're going to have overcharge weapons. I was assuming it was a thing being applied to my weapon types.
Yep.
But I didn't.
It's just a bonus.
Clear.
Yep.
Yeah.
And speaking of bonuses, did you see that how they're combining so many of these mods? Like you're gonna get it's going to be sword and glaive mod. It's going to be like submachine gun and auto rifle, or pulse rifle and scout rifle. Like for next season, they're combining so many of these mods to encompass more than one weapon. I was like, that's cool. I dig it.
I'm very happy. I'm because I'm really tired of running like I'm not someone who, if you've listened to the show for any amount of time, I have my favorite weapons. I have my spouses. I have my mistresses, and then there's the rest that sit in the vault and collect dust. Like that's sort of how I play this game anyway. But I'm really tired of going, I'm running champion things. Here's the 3 weapons I'm going to use all season. because I just pick, I'll pick my favorite pulse rifle, my scout rifle, my bow, my whatever. Like, that's just what I'm going to roll with. Again, Wither Horde has not left my side between the weakened clear and the unstoppable stunning. Like, that's what I've used all season long. Not necessarily because I want to, because that's sort of what you have to do the thing. So I'm super excited to have just a greater amount of weapons I can go use to do things. If I've crafted a thing and I'm trying to level it up to make it a better crafted thing, I'd like to use it somewhere versus going, I've got this SMG. I don't have any overload champions to kill, so why would I ever bring an SMG into this activity? Now I can hopefully bring my SMG and it will do me some good.
Supercharge, yeah. And exactly. I think that even they haven't specified it, but they didn't unspecify it either. Meaning, let's say you have an exotic Osteo Striga. It's a submachine gun, so potentially that can also be overcharged, which would be cool. If the exotics can also be overcharged on top of other things,
Yeah.
But Quicksilver Storm is an auto rifle main. What do you think about that? Because next season is going to be even better because it's going to have the chance to generate the little strand balls, right? So, auto rifle, mini rockets, grenade launchers, strand orbs. What do you think?
A catalyst that's going to do arc damage, I think.
No, it's strand, I think, right?
What was a strand? Okay. Yeah. I can't remember if they said it was going to be arc damage again or if there was a strand damage that did arc because there was no strand yet when it erroneously went into the game earlier. I'm just excited that was our first taste of what a Lightfall weapon was going to look like. And an exotic
came out the box broken
with landing multiple hits, turning your next shot into a homing micro rockets. I mean, again, now that's what I wonder. Again, we know strands coming out hot. That's Bungie's whole plan. That's what they did with Stasis. That's what they did with the 3.0 reworks, except for Void because they broke the shields, only 0.5% effective. But that's what things come out of the box hot and good and powerful. So I'm wondering, and again, this is an exotic weapon. Of course, it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. I'm curious if this is sort of.
There's a lot of shit exotic weapons, but I see your point.
Yeah. But like with the new stuff we've seen, like, is this where we're going? Like, is this a taste of things to come, or is this going to be the outlier of this one's incredible?
Man,
the other ones,
I hope so.
Are fine, but they're whatever. So I'm excited. I mean, one, they gave me a new auto rifle. It wasn't a freaking hand cannon, which I'm beside myself with joy. And it came out of the box real broken and real good, and it's still good. So and
it's going to get even better next season, which is going to be cracked, man.
I will, Bungie, listen, I will put up with being a big giant green crab for the Quicksilver Storm. Okay, I will make that trade-off. Might this be another situation where, like, when I play Stasis,
you say that, but you get range, dude. You get range that holds them in place for you.
Yeah.
So
again, I mean, I get a bunch of ice crystals with my Stasis super, and I'm a drunken toddler going. Whee!
No. The ice crystals stay where they are. This thing chases people down, makes them float, so you can catch up and kill them.
Yeah, but I want it to be good, but I'm just seeing like the ease of being shot out of my super of the Fist of Havoc, plus the big giant spinny move of the Burning Maul without the fire. So again, I want it to be good. I'm not optimistic about the super. The strand as a whole, love it. Happy to play it.
Yeah.
Really happy to get my hands on. Am I excited on the Titan? I don't know yet. I'm trying to be optimistic, but again, once I have my hands on it, we'll see how it plays. I want it to be more than a spinny crab, but that's apparently who we are as our identity is big spinny crab people that punch things. Which again, see, you're not wrong.
Everybody else is like Wolverine. Everybody else has delusions of grandeur when it comes to being Wolverine, and you're just like big spinning crab.
Those are crab claws. I'm sorry. You show me crab claws. I'm a big spinning crab. I'm a big giant crab. Put me on a table. Eat me. I'm delicious with some old bay.
Oh, wow, that escalated quickly.
It also escalate this week of Bungie.
Yes.
For 2/23/23. Oh, I don't know. Bruno told us some stuff. He told us we were getting ready for a new Lightfall trailer. Did we read Bringing Back Challenge to Destiny? Bruno, we did.
Did you watch the trailer, by the way, that he's talking about?
I did watch the trailer.
Oh.
I watched many trailers.
Oh.
He's also going to tell us there's Crucible updates. Respawn that won't care about, but Michael won't care about. Crucible updates going live with Lightfall. Mod customization, loadouts, Guardian ranks, commendations, a preview of Season 20 artifact perks, an update on the Legend campaign, a Witch Queen weekend free, a free weekend, which kicks off Thursday, which, by the time you're hearing this, it'll be over. But hey, if you have friends that didn't have Witch Queen, you could be playing it for free right now through the weekend. Your Prime Gaming Rewards reminder, go pick all that crap up. Updates from the beautiful Destiny support team and some of the community's outstanding creations. That's what Bruno has for us.
Did you see Astacross talking about, oh my God, if somebody in the chat comes and tells me that on the Witch Queen free weekend they got some Raid Exotic, I'm banning them for life.
I did not, but that's really funny.
Yeah. Imagine just a one weekend and you lucked out to get the exotic. What? That'd be crazy.
That would be perfect. I think you just have to retire at that point. You're like, I'm done. I've beaten the game. Yeah. I can move on now.
That's right. I don't need to do anything else. What's coming out next? Anthem 2? Yeah, okay, let's go. I just made that up. That's not a thing, guys. Don't.
So did you watch the new trailer coming today? The 43-minute state of play that I guess I guess PlayStation's state of play, they put out a long thing, which now I'll be honest, this one I did not watch. Is this all 43 minutes of Bungie? Or is this
pretty much? It's like more of the breakouts where they talk about, what they were thinking about in the game, why this came to play, this and that and the other.
Yeah, the house. Yeah, that's one I sat down to sort of look at this morning because I saw there was a video and I was thinking it'd be another 2, 10, 15 minute. Yeah. Saw it was 43 minutes and I was like, you know what, I'll let somebody else watch it and tell me if it's worth my time.
It doesn't tell you anything we didn't already
really know. Yeah, I mean, really at this point I'm like, the hype train has left the station. The hype train is halfway down the tracks. The hype train is gone. You've missed the hype train if you're not on it already. You don't need to hype me anymore. Like, I know what's happening. It's going to be here momentarily.
And Dandy, who used to be in our clan, got on the stream today. He goes, yo, what's going on? It's been a while since I talked to Destiny. Or since I played Destiny. I told him about Strand. I was like, you know what Strand is? He goes, no. And I started getting details. He goes, you're kidding me. I'm like, nope. And I'm like, on top of that, you have in-game build crafting. You can save builds. He goes, what? I need to get paid. I'm like, yeah, all right. So, I mean,
gotta get paid. Gotta get the Lightfall.
Yeah, he ain't played in forever, and he's on just for that. My brother Ryan, the Titan, he actually wanted to be on the show today, but he didn't wake up in time. He's a returning player. He used to go to the Trials Tower, not Tower, Lighthouse all the time. He used to carry people. He used to be huge into Destiny. And he's not playing for a number of months. And now that he's back in the game, he says he feels like a baby because so many things have changed in the last, 4 expansions.
Tell him not to worry about it.
That would ruin the branding, wouldn't it, Peroty, if we had just 3 Titans and no hunters?
It would, but you're burying the lead here. Tell him don't worry about the PvE aspects of the game. Ask him when our trials carries are.
Yeah, oh no, he's all about it. He won't shut up about it, dude. He will not shut up about it.
Well, why are we not being trial carried right now? Come on.
Because
what do we do? Why are we recording this podcast?
He has to get his build, and then after he gets his build, then he's going to start playing PvP to get used to that. This
sounds like excuses. This sounds like my excuse.
No. My brother is a stat word that begins with a W and ends with an or. Okay, so. Yeah, win-or. Yeah, so he's all about the stats. And back when we used to play Call of Duty together, he had a 100% accuracy stat. He's that much into PvP that, like, small things like that, spin his wheels. So as soon as he gets back into PvP, he's going to be carrying people. And yeah, so look for that in the next couple weeks.
For three Titans, a PvE and PvP extravaganza.
No, it's not 3 Titans.
Well, it would be if we dropped you.
Not until he gets up to light level, it's not.
I don't think you could drop me for him. His language is way worse than mine.
Well, he would make up for that with the trials carries, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna do this the hard way. It sounds like we're doing this the hard way. The Week of World Systems. They shared the overview, made a bunch of changes to activities. We told you about the surge, the threats, the overcharges. Respawn explained to me how overcharges worked. Our new Vanguard scoring system, not Nightfall scoring, Vanguard Ops scoring. It's different and possibly less fulfilling. Power levels, they're taking those. The disadvantages will make Nightfalls more challenging. They've updated all the activities, all the things. They'll give you places to get guaranteed materials out of Nightfalls and Lost Sectors.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to rank up.
Dun, dun, dun.
How are we ranking up?
What are we ranking up?
Very carefully. Apparently, there was something on the PlayStation blog today that I didn't read. Did you guys read? The
Nope.
Lightfall trailer and quality of life features was revealed, which, I mean, it feels like, it's all the things. It's all the things they've told us about, the commendations, the free witch queen. Did you know
There's
free witch queen this weekend?
crafting,
That's
mod
not going to help you at this point.
customization, loadouts, up through the
So-
ranks.
Yeah. So I guess
Nothing
we
we
have to
didn't
tell the
already know.
PlayStation
Yep.
people specifically, hey guys, this is happening since they no longer have, the game to themselves with all the best, finest things. I guess we have to throw them a bone and go, hey guys, the game still exists. You should consider playing it.
It's a Sony prerequisite. Sony's like, look, since we gave you this money, you need to make specific TWABs for PlayStation, even if it says the same stuff.
You use the small words to make sure everybody understands. Beckon them. Listen, PlayStation folks, you had exclusives for many years. We get to poke fun at you. That's just how it is. We're over here on Xbox, way behind PlayStation numbers, but we get to throw stones and poke fun. That's just how this works.
Yeah, but Peroty,
yeah.
I'm waiting for more news regarding Crucible. Is there more news regarding Crucible?
Well, they claim there is,
Oh,
and they're saying it beckons to you, Nitedemon. Crucible, dear.
I'm beckoning you. Beckon. What is beckon?
There's a few quick bits.
Bacon is like begging.
No, I'm
not bacon. I thought it was like bacon.
bacon.
Well, there's
yeah.
a few
Only one
quick
thing
bits.
smells like bacon, and that's bacon.
Well, there's a small charcuterie board of information they can share before launch.
Ooh.
Later in the season, they'll have a bigger article with more details, but not yet.
Does that
For
mean
now-
we're only half baked?
I think we're maybe a quarter baked. We're not even a Ben and Jerry's. We're just Ben, and Jerry's overslept somewhere in the bed. So next week, we have a Crucible Division freelance note. It's going away. So I hope you enjoyed it while it was there.
No, my renowned.
No, but they believe the fire team matchmaking is solving the problem that was originally intended to solve in a much healthier way. So it's healthier, Nitedemon, to go into the main playlist.
Yeah, but
To
no.
merge
Yeah, but no, but-
the player population into one larger,
Yeah, but no,
healthier pool,
No, but
while
yeah, but
still protecting the smaller fire teams from getting stomped by the larger, more coordinated groups. Note how it doesn't say protecting the solo players from being stomped by the larger fire teams.
Exactly. Because if you're a solo player, you've got more of a chance of, and you're in that solo players, you've got like 100% chance of matching up against 5 other people that are solo. So,
but it's fine. It's better now. It's healthier, Nitedemon. It's healthier.
Yes, but I honestly don't believe it is, being in the shortest season that we've had for this testing going on. And like, if I've been in that position of that I haven't played as much Crucible as I could normally play, then I think a lot of other people are in that position where it's been that shorter season, or they've dropped off towards the end of the year of the Witch Queen. I don't think even this season that we're in now, 19 and 18 put together, is probably a good building block for going forward to get rid of that solo node.
No,
that's my personal take. I mean, I haven't got any of the numbers in front of me, but I'm just saying we've gone so long with all these other things going round and round in circles of trialing this and trialing that. I'm not 100% sure that it's the best time to take it away. I know they did it in Iron Banner, and even then, I'm not sure if that was working, because that was just like, we've got the. I mean, I think we only had that for like a year, didn't we? Not even a year of that solo playlist for Iron Banner, and then it got taken away in the last part of this season, and it was like, nope, you're just going to be mucked into one. And I'm hoping that they haven't just gone, oh, we'll take the data from that and just replicate that in normal Crucible, or the competitive part of the normal Crucible, because that doesn't make any sense. Sorry,
it really doesn't.
Ranting.
If you want to play freelance, go to Freelance Gambit. It's going to be there forever.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Now, we are getting some competitive quality of life changes, so maybe the quality of your life will improve in Season 20. They're going to change placements, so you can now place in the Platinum Division after your initial placement series matches if you were Adept or Ascendant in a previous season.
What about Silver?
I've played 4 of my 7 qualifying matches this season, so I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
If you're Silver, I assume they'll put you right back where you belong in Silver, or just say maybe you should start again.
I'll be in Bronze.
But don't worry.
Unranked, baby, let's go.
Yeah, unranked Copper.
Yeah.
You're at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Also untested over here, sitting untested. And maybe the new modes in the map waiting will help. Because while we understand that not everyone loves Rift and Showdown for some reason, We believe that these two modes stress Crucible players in different and important ways, and that a variety of skill and objective modes make for a healthier ladder. So you can't just play Slayer all the time. However, they are lowering how common Rift and Showdown
It's
are.
the wrong game,
coming
dude.
up
We don't
in
have
play.
Slayer.
It's all Slayer, my friend. It's all Slayer. Every game mode in Destiny is Slayer. No matter what it says on the tin, it's just Slayer.
Yeah.
So
Iron Banner Slayer. We've gone over this. Nobody gets the objectives. It's Iron Banner Slayer.
You can call it Clash all you want. It's still Slayer. You can call it Iron Banner Control. It's still Slayer. You can call it Rumble. I mean, that's just Slayer though. So I mean, it's all Slayer. Rift Slayer, Showdown Slayer, RNG Slayer. It's going to give you a sequence of maps and modes, and while they expect survival to show up around 2/3 of the time, Rift and Showdown will be split into about a third, or you'll see it 6 times in a row, because who really knows how it's going to wait all of you in the lobby. One of you is going to see 6 games of Rifts in a row, and that's what you're going to play and enjoy. They've also adjusted the individual map weightings for Showdown to eliminate map modes where it doesn't play well. And overall, so they've increased the weight of Javelin 4, Endless Veil, Altar of Flame in the competitive division, and removed Disjunction, hold for applause, and Cathedral of Dark from the rotation entirely.
Dusk. Cathedral of Dusk.
Yes, the Cathedral of
Dusk.
Dusk.
Maybe Cathedral of Dark to you, but it's Cathedral of Dusk.
Well, either way, it's gone. So it's the Cathedral of absolutely nothing anymore.
Yeah, but that's only from the competitive division. It's
only from competitive.
They're still there.
I know.
So in large Rift maps, they're still going to be there.
I know. Which, I mean, fine, Rift, fine, whatever. But yeah.
Well, we just got Disjunction this year, and they're already removing it.
No, but from the competitive.
Oh,
this is just from competitive.
Have you played competitive Rift on Disjunction?
I haven't played Rift.
Exactly.
What was the other one?
Competitive. No, but if you try and play competitive Rift on Disjunction, and your 2 teammates go down, and the other team are all around that spark, you've got no hope. You've got no, actually, sorry, you've got 2 hopes: No Hope and Bob Hope, and that's it.
Like I said,
but see, no, next year I wanted to see this. I want see because you're not thinking in Strand, okay? You need to have the one Titan Superman over with 3 hunters attached to him, and boom, it's game over, man.
No, I think you're already at 4 people. You're being stranded.
Too many.
Peroty, I want to address this. He's mentioned this 3 times in the last 3 podcasts. You are being stranded to Titans. Why should we give up our strand to go Titan Superman punching with our?
I'm not saying you should. I'm saying from what I've heard from other Titans, they don't like it. They don't like the crab thing. They're still going to run the Superman.
I haven't had it. But you are being stranded to us Titans, and I'm calling you out for it.
I'm not being stranded. I'm saying what other Titans have said and what I saw in the video.
You don't know any other Titans. You only know us.
Unfortunately, most of the people I know are Titans, which is weird.
That is really weird, as hunters make up the vast majority of this game. You can't find your own people.
Micah, a Titan. His brother, a Titan. You 2 idiots, Titans. Everybody's a Titan.
I'd say no.
All the best people are.
I'd say that it's a him problem because let's face it, you are gravitating towards the Titans, and I think we are beckoning and calling
negative you. 10 for good buddy. You might be able to get Ken the gunslinger with that crap, but you ain't getting me. All right.
Ken was the one that talked himself into changing to a Titan just to try it. He said, I really want to create a Titan. I wasn't. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. He wanted to do it. He's done it. There you go.
You spent the last 4 years on a podcast among nothing but Titans. So, I mean, you brought this on yourself. Just like at the start of season 20, you can gild your glorious title by reaching the Adept division, as well as another of other Crucible triumphs. Or you can't, who knows? I'm not going to tell you what to do. Now, this is another interesting change, because I see a lot of the, the higher level PvP players who play on PC, are like, I run in here, I use this exotic, I swap this exotic over, then I do this other thing. Bungie's onto your clever games. They're saying, exotic armor pieces can be a critical piece of your PvP build, just like your aspects, your fragments, and your subclass. So a popular move has always been to have a powerful neutral game exotic on during PvP while your super is building, and then swap to that super enhancing exotic once your super's full, and then swap back. And this tends to favor your players who have higher NPCs and can get in and out of the menus faster.
Higher end PCs
and make your menus faster.
Yeah,
make your menus faster, Bungie. That's literally all we want. And more vault space. And while they don't really want to encourage a bunch of gameplay a bunch of menu gameplay during action. They also find an uninteresting way to gain advantage in PvP. So we're going to put a stop to that, which this just seems, again, sort of like the 3 peaking trials. It's like, I see this as a problem, but this is not something I thought they would have addressed. But in Season 20, they're introducing the Not Swap modifier into trials and the competitive division. In activities with Not Swap, very creative name, if you change your exotic during the match, all your ability energy is removed, just like if you swapped your subclass. They'll be monitoring gameplay, looking at numbers. They are not planning to adding this to PvE activities because it could, provide you a meaningful advantage, and it already has your equipment locked anyway at higher levels. So it's PvP only.
So no more swapping to Eternal Warrior.
Trials?
They mentioned Gambit.
Stars of Galanor.
They're not planning to add it to Gambit either. There you go.
Yeah, no. I mean, again, Gambit, you've got a freelance playlist. You can swap around all you want. Gambit's where you want to go. What do you guys think about? I mean, again, like this is something that wouldn't even I was aware it was a thing, but it certainly wasn't on my radar as a thing that Bungie would have thought about or looked at.
I didn't think they'd look at it either. I just thought because I know a bunch of hunters that when they get their super, they'll swap to the Stars of Galanor. And I know some Titans that will swap to their Eternal Warrior, I think it's called. Whenever they get their supers.
Nobody does that. Nobody uses that.
No, they do. They do, man, because you get an overkill.
You've been watching a Lucky 10p video too much. That's what you've done.
You will never prove to me that anybody uses that in gameplay at all. Mm-mm.
Okay, whatever. I'm not the one that came up with it. The fact that I knew that exotic name should tell you that I've seen it somewhere. So
it tells me you've got an alt profile that you play as a Titan.
Okay.
I mean, I assume it was watching Fallout's video last week where you could from Xur. No? Okay.
Nope.
Xur sold the Eternal Warrior last week, and Fallout made the joke about just a giant stone face.
No. Anyway, no. What?
So are you ready for some warm hugs to embrace the passive artifact?
Yes.
The new
oh my god! Yes. Oh, I'm so stoked about this.
I was surprised that they've actually gone through and listed everything on this new artifact.
Yes.
So yeah,
we've gotten 2 season names, we've gotten information. They haven't said redacted barely once. We're doing great.
I don't think they've said it at all.
I think it was one time. I think there was one redacted for the name of the raid or something.
Oh,
but it was, which I only remember because it was one instance where I saw it going, oh, that's a nice change of pace. So your artifact mods are now your artifact perks. They're passive, and you don't have to slot them into armor pieces. Once you unlock the perk, it automatically applies to your Guardian.
This here gives you an extra armor slot. You can't tell me otherwise, right?
I won't tell you otherwise.
Or 2 or 3, yeah.
What I will tell you is you can have 12 perks unlockable at any given time, so still the same number, but you don't then have to be further limited by having a place to put the perk on your lovely gauntlets, or your chest piece, or your helmet, or whatever.
And they don't have elemental affinities. Let's go. Well, they didn't before. Never mind.
And respawn, you can reset the artifact at no cost any number of times. No longer will there be any cost to do that.
You lie. Where does it say that?
Right below the last thing I said, and right above where I'm going to tell you the anti-champion weapons featured in the artifact can also be overcharged in higher difficulty activities.
Yo, let's get it.
And your Artifice armor that you've all been farming for now has a unique mod slot that grants 3 additional points of character stat of your choice, like you told us earlier. And Bungie, the change is retroactive to all Artifice armor. So if you've been farming your face off for Artifice armor, now you can use it to its full and glorious power in Lightfall.
I'm going to tell you a funny joke. Ken popped into the stream yesterday, saw that we were in the duality dungeon and went, "Are you farming for Artifice armor?" It's like, you are kidding, right? This is just a normal dungeon.
Yeah.
Poor
I've only got 1 piece of Artifice armor, and it's my cloak. That's it. But if you have all 5 pieces, you do get, drum roll please, 15 points of stats, or 15 stat points to play with. 15.
So now
That's enough to get some people a quad 100 build. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Now you can finally get your stasis build working right when you don't.
No, I'd still be 100, 195.
Oh, slacker. Well, slap a mobility mod in there and you're all set.
It's not mobility. It's what's the last one? The very last column, strength. It's that
Doesn't
one.
matter.
Yeah.
So are you excited to find out what our choices for next season are going to be?
Yes. Tell me. Yes, come on. What's in the first column?
Tell you, or shall he tell you? Who's telling you?
Yes, I don't care.
Are you telling us?
I'll do column 1. You can do column 2.
Okay.
In column 1, anti-barrier sidearms. All your sidearms, stunning anti-barrier. And they're also always overcharged when that modifier is active. Pulse rifles. Pulse rifles are going to be anti-barrier until the end of time, and they still are in this next season. Also, when they're overcharged, they'll be overcharged. Bows. We're going to overload all the bows. Overload all your overload champions with fancy bows. Also, when they're overcharged, your unstoppable scout rifles. Hey, your scout rifles going to kill the unstoppables. Also, when they're overcharged. And as Respawn alluded to earlier, we have an automatics overload. So sustained fire from auto rifles and submachine guns disrupts combatants, stunning them, etc., against overload champions. So sort of like we had the overload this season with, you could use either. Now they just said, hey, let's just give it a new name. Overload automatics, or automatics overload. And again, when the overcharge thing is active, does that too.
Also, just be aware that if it's an exotic that also says that you're using anti-barrier, say pulse rifle, and it's got anti-barrier overload intrinsically built into it, it won't do both things. It'll only do what its intrinsic perk is. It won't do the other thing that you've got from your artifact. So just pay attention to that, because you may be kind of thinking, I'm just going to pick this one weapon and it's going to do all of the anti-barrier stuff. No. Only does the thing that it says on it, and if it doesn't say a thing on it, you can then use it for whatever the artifact is.
Now,
so
in
what you're
saying that,
is I can't take my overload bow, grab my wish ender with its intrinsic anti-barrier, and then be sad that it's not doing overload damage.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Now, since you said that, people also have to be aware that come next season, you can overwrite what your weapon is doing. So let's say you have overload rounds, and then you become radiant from a hunter, and radiance gives you anti-barrier. Well, now you're going to be doing anti-barrier instead of overload for the duration of that radiance. So there's other combinations that come into play, but you also have to keep in mind what your buffs are, because your buffs can and do actually change what champion modifiers you have active at the moment.
So you're saying that sometimes my buffs might impede me actually playing well.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Your mileage may vary.
Column 2. You go.
Me go. You go.
You go.
Yeah.
You go.
Okay, I'll go. Authorized mods. Solar. Yeah, that's what you get. Authorized mods. Strand. Authorized mods. Void. Authorized mods. Grenades. And multi-siphon mods. So the authorized mods, the armor energy costs are of all armor mods affecting your solar weapons, void weapons, and strand weapons are significantly discounted.
Significantly being the keyword there.
Significantly. And the grenades as well, so don't forget those ones. And your multi-siphon mods grants access to armor mods in your helmet that combine the effects of the strand siphon mod with the solar siphon mod and the void siphon mod. All the mods siphoned into one.
Wow.
In column 2.
See what I mean about how they're combining stuff? That's crazy.
I like it. I like it a lot.
You have column 3 with your shatter orbs. The first time you break a combatant shield, you create an orb of power if you break the shield with the matching damage type. You have Defiant Armory. Greatly improves the benefits provided by the Noble Deeds Nanotech Tracer Rockets. Ooh. That's new. Nanotech Tracer Rockets. Text balanced stock and ambush origin traits. Let's go. Untangler. Destroying a tangle with strand weapons suspends targets damaged by the explosion. and Solar Surge. Collecting a Fire Sprite, which is going to be the new, quote, Wells next season, gives you Armor Charge, a.k.a. Charge with Light. Volatile Flow, picking up an Orb of Power grants you Void Weapons Volatile Rounds. There you go.
As they should.
As they should.
Column 4, Bricks from Beyond. Defeating powerful combatants with your Void Weapon has a chance to give you heavy ammo for you and your teammates. Flare up your Firebolt grenades.
Wait. Just the Void Weapon. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Void Weapons generate heavy.
Yeah.
What?
When you defeat a powerful combatant. So, killing a yellow bar, you have a chance to get heavy for you and all your friends.
If you're using Void. That's crazy.
And you're going to be, because why would you not be?
Well, because,
unless maybe you could be using your Firebolt grenades to apply more Scorch stacks. And damaging combatants with those Firebolt grenades spawn Fire Sprites if you want to use Flare Up. Or maybe you're using Origin Hones, weapons with the Noble Deeds, Nano Tracing Rockets, Text Balance Stock, Ambush Origin are always overcharged when that modifier is active. Ooh, no, that's vicious.
Nanotech rockets. I wonder if that's what's on that auto rifle. The little rockets that come out. I wonder if that's the nanotech stuff.
Maybe, but I can tell you the allied unraveling is when rapid final blows with a strand weapon grants you and your weapon unraveling rounds with longer duration near allies. And finally, your counterweave. When you or a member of your fire team stuns or defeats a champion, you gain energy to your least charged strand ability.
You or a member of your fire team. What the flip?
Well, column 5 will flip you out even more, Respawn. Stranded Reach. Destroying a tangle with a strand weapon creates a larger and more damaging explosion. Kaboom.
Hold on. I see some synergy. Hold on. Stranded Reach with Untangler?
You should be seeing lots of synergy.
So, destroying a tangle with a strand weapon, suspense target, damaged by the explosion, and
so excited by every single one.
Larger explosion. Oh my God.
We also have Rain of Firebolts. When you have a Firebolt grenade equipped, you gain a second charge just for free, just because you have that unlocked. There you go. 2.
That goes with Flare Up. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Void Weapon Channeling. You gain a temporary bonus to Void Weapons damage after you defeat a target with a Void Weapon while at least one of your Void abilities is fully charged. This damage bonus increased based on the number of fully charged Void abilities you have. Don't use your abilities and just shoot things with Void. Explodes. Kaboom.
Exactly.
Oh, I like this one. Medieval Champion. Glaives, you wield fire a powerful explosion payload that stuns unshielded combatants. Strong against unstoppable champions. Additionally, glaives are always overcharged when that modifier is active. Landing consecutive hits with a sword disrupts combatants, stunning them, delaying ability energy regeneration, and lowering combatants' damage output. Strong against overload champions. Additionally, swords are always overcharged when a modifier is active. So that's swords and glaives, medieval champions. Let's go with that. Just
Glade barrier mods. Glade champion mods. Let's go. Glaive.
We fixed your unstoppable problems there, Respawn. Just wail on them with a stick.
Oh, I'm totally going to hit him with a stick.
I've got one more for you. Prismatic Transfer.
Okay.
When you cast your super, each member of your fire team with a subclass damage type different than yours gains a bonus to weapon damage. Interesting.
Now, is that going to stack if I also run with a bubble?
Maybe.
I need to know.
Well, somebody's got to do the testing, and we know for sure it's not going to be us three.
I was going to say, where are you going with this?
Yeah, and we will watch the YouTube videos and tell you who did the testing and what they found out.
Absolutely.
We will definitely shout them out and praise them.
Plunder the booty! I need builds!
Now, you're building in his head already, like you have.
Just go subscribe to his channel right now. Give him the dollars, and you will reap all the rewards. Just like we're going to reap all the ways to defeat champions. We've told you about the build crafting involved. We've told you about how it evolved even.
Peroty?
He's devolved.
Okay.
It's evolved.
Oh, there he goes. Okay, yeah, no, you left, bro.
I went nowhere. I went
Well,
nowhere of the sort.
your voice did, so start over.
Oh, that's very exciting. Well, we have new ways to defeat champions now that I'm back in live in living color. We have an evolved build crafting article where you can take your exotics with the new anti-champion intrinsic perks that they're adding to Ariana's Vow, Divinity, and Leviathan's Breath. Those are 3 examples. You also have weapons with the anti-champion artifact perk. You can use the following subclass verbs and status effects. So our barrier champions, like Respawn was saying, Radiant, Volatile rounds, and Unraveling rounds are going to take them out. Overloads will finally let you use Arc. So if you're for Overload champions, Jolt, Suppression, and Slow. So if you are slumming it, running Stasis or Arc this season, you can handle the Overloads. Your Unstoppable champions, Ignite, Blind, Shatter, and Suspend will make short work of them. And the verbs work no matter how they're triggered. So, for instance, if you're a Radiant because a Solar Hunter used an Acrobat dodge near you, you will shoot anti-barrier rounds until Radiant wears off. If you use a weapon with a Chill Clip perk, the Slow effect upon direct hits will stun Overload champions, and the Shatter upon a second hit will stun the Unstoppable champions. While Radiant, though, the same weapon would pierce a barrier champion, but not stun Overloads. So if you play your cards right, you could either stun all 3 or 0 of the champions you're facing, depending how things played out.
This is even more of a reason for Bungie to show us all of our buffs on the left side of the screen instead of just 3.
Truly. And then exotics with the anti-champion status effect won't get the pierce effect while applying Radiant. So for example, your Aegir Scepter will slow and stun Overloads, but not pierce the barrier, even if the player is Radiant. There's an exception for weapons able to apply Scorch, since ignitions require a build-up in order to stun. So in addition to your build crafting, you're also going to have to pay attention to what flavor am I right now? What damage am I doing in this moment because of what has happened? So yeah, we may see some videos where you can absolutely nuke all 3 champions with 3 shots if you do a particular order of things, or you get your fire team wiped because you couldn't deal with any of the champions because of how things played out.
Well, you know how right now, in the bottom left of our screen where it shows our weapons, right next to our weapons, if we have them, it'll show whatever barrier champion that they're currently able to stun, right? I wonder if that's going to change on the fly to tell us, right now my pulse rifle is doing anti-barrier. I turn Radiant, or actually, scratch that, it's doing Overload. I turn Radiant, now it's doing anti-barrier. Does it update the icon on the bottom of the screen? That way I can look at a glance what I can stun,
Should do, shouldn't it?
I mean, it should. You would think it would, but this is Bungo, so
would be nice, but we'll see. Are you ready to become legend? Are you excited to become legend?
I am. I'm. Whether you Peroty, you're solo, like me. I go in solo quite a lot of the times, or like Respawn, he needs a fire team of Titans.
There's
no wrong way to play the Lightfall campaign.
No, every expansion that's come out so far, I've soloed on Legend. Don't you come at me with that noise.
I'm just saying that you might need a fire team of Titans around you.
I don't need emails. It's been recorded. I have it on stream.
Show us the VOD to prove it.
You want me to? I'd save all of them.
We know, and Bungie know, that you all love the legendary campaign difficulty that debuted with the Witch Queen. So they wanted to talk a little bit about how that will work with Lightfall. Basically the same, I think. So let's get into it. So with the goal of balancing the challenge and survivability across all 3 fire team sizes, 1, 2, or 3, the legend difficulty scales based on the size of your fire team, the incoming damage required to stagger an enemy health, and the amount of revives are fewer of the things that scale on legendary for each additional member of your fire team. So basically what it was with the Witch Queen. In the Lightfall campaign, we reduced the health scaler on the combatants to better balance solo and fire team play when compared to last year's legendary campaign. Sounds to me like you made it a little bit easier. Enemies will still have more overall health in larger fire teams, and the Cabal in general have higher base health than other combatant factions. But this will help bring solo and fire team difficulties closer together, and additionally, the damage required to stagger combatants is reduced during the Lightfall campaign. But make no mistake, Respawn, you will need those Titans to hold your hand. The Shadow Legion and their new technology are extremely formidable foes. And they're not even going to talk about the tormentors because they don't want to. So we're not going to.
I still wonder how long they take your light for, or if they just take like a portion of it. You know, do they just like, take
what
like
you need
10% of every one of your
Titan.
abilities away?
You need a Titan to help you. That's what this is. You're crying out for Titans to
You're
help.
obsessed with this. No, what are you
No,
talking
you
about?
build it up. You're just surrounded by
No,
Titans.
I happen to know more Titans. Yes.
I am just kind of helping you get through this. I'm like your therapist here. Let's just go through this. Maybe you want to start off. No, let's not go there. Anyway.
No. If I was going to play anything besides a hunter, it would be a lock, not a Titan.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say maybe we try with baby steps. Maybe we go Warlock first, and then
it's not baby steps. I was forced to play Titan for 2 seasons, it did not attract me to playing Titan from that point forward.
Was not forced. It was your own ego.
Point is, for 6 months, I was Titan only, and I feel no stronger towards playing a Titan than I did before. The draw is not there.
You know what I don't feel strongly about? Free Throne World Tours.
Why
the Throne World's there. It's free this weekend. But by the time you hear this, the weekends, we're already in the weekend. The weekends will be over.
The game will be over. That's it.
Yeah. Who will care about the Throne World anymore? But you could be playing the Throne World. You can't be playing the Vox Obscura mission that apparently somewhere along the line somebody said that Vox Obscura would be included in this. It's not. So you get free. You get free Witch Queen, but that's it. Pick up all your Prime Gaming rewards. I have to go to Amanda. She is tired. She's so tired. Nitedemon, Amanda's so tired. So tired.
You know what? I think the reason why, just going on via the trailer that I've watched this week, the cinematic trailer thing, I think they're going to kill her off. I think she dies in the battle at the beginning. I think she dies, which is why she can't.
Either that or she's really, really good at.
No, but this is why she can't hold on to all those Prime Gaming stuff. It's going to end up going to somebody like Rahul or the Postmaster. I think that's the reason they're getting rid of her out of the hangar.
So maybe if she
there'd be a chicken and the Colonel, and that's it. The chicken will take her place.
The chicken is the Colonel.
Eventually, we're going to have all birds as vendors in this game. That's where this is going very slowly.
Well, yeah, we've got.
Maybe if she had all those weapons on her, then maybe she would have lived. Maybe that's the problem.
She crashes into another ship, dude. How does a weapon help?
Hey, there's some very powerful weapons. Are you telling me they're not going to help?
I don't think the chaperone is going to stop whatever happens there.
No, she's holding about 10 of my ships and Sparrows. She can easily, transmat to another ship or Sparrow.
Oh, so you're the reason she couldn't turn in time. All those ships.
She. So I've done a pretty good job picking up the ships. No, see, Amanda Holiday currently has on my Titan a Prometheus lens, a Prospector, a Tractor Cannon, a Colony, a Hardlight, a Huckleberry, a Merciless, a Wardcliff Coil, a Queenbreaker, another Hardlight, a Darcy, and a Sunshot.
Okay, the Wardcliff could have saved her. I'll give you that.
As well as like 3 or 4 extra ships. So maybe if she had that, if she had Ikora's Resolve, both the Resolve and the ship of the same name that she has, maybe that would have helped her. I mean, there's like at least a half dozen ghosts in there. Like she would be fine if she could use these things, but sadly she does not have Amazon Prime and she cannot use them to her advantage. And that's very disappointing for her. So we have to go visit Amanda. There's things, there's at least weapons there to shard and, break down and into materials that I'll need.
Well, she's really upset with me because she's got 2 hard lights on hold for me. So I don't know where they've come from.
Yeah, no, I don't know why they're there either. But
she's not holding anything from me because I'm an adult and I can't myself.
No. See, she started holding these because my thought was, let me have you hold these. Eventually, there'll be a higher light level. Eventually, I'll pull them out when I need them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that day has just never come for her. So she just continues to hold them forever. And that's just who she is as a person.
Not
now.
forever.
She
Forever is about to end.
I know. Apparently, apparently we're taking her usefulness away.
It is something Bungie would do too. Right as her and Crow begin to reconcile, Bungie kills her off. So it's just like
Crow.
I don't think they're going to kill her off. I think she's going to dodge it at the last second. But the fact that they're making us think she's gonna die. It's just, whatever.
No, I think she's dying. That's why we got to get rid of all of our Prime Gaming stuff.
Oof.
I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Are you Respawn?
What?
Are you Nitedemon?
I'm not
ready to preload?
No, I haven't.
I don't think we can on PC.
You're not ready to preload?
No, I've got to delete some stuff. The kids have filled up my hard drive with other stuff.
Oh, yeah, nope. See, you've got to get ready to preload, my friend, because the Lightfall 24-hour downtime is nearly upon us. Destiny 2 will be brought offline at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That is -8 UTC. Set your clocks accordingly. Or if you're going, what time is 9 a.m. PST? I invite you to go to my favorite new website, time.lol. Yes, time.lol. You can put in any date and time you like, and it will tell you your local time, your UTC. It will tell you exactly when these things are happening in all of your time zones.
Well,
and in 9 a.m. Pacific,
5 p.m.
Yeah, so at 5 p.m. Nitedemon, all your ongoing activities will end. You will be returned to the title screen. Preloading for Lightfall for all platforms will become available at that point. You will, however, not be able to log back in until the downtime has concluded 24 hours later. So for 5 p.m. for you, so 5 p.m. on the next day, February 28th is when your downtime concludes. Destiny also provides you a fancy, not nearly as much fun domain to click on to figure out what the local time is in your area. I like my time.lol personally. You are to preload, gonna need some space on your lovely platform of choice. And Bungie again makes a lovely little link. So if you're on the PS5, you're gonna need 102 gigs. Xbox Series S or X, 108 gigs. If you're on the PS4, a mere 88 gigs. Xbox One, 89 gigs. Steam, you guys are going to need 102 gigs.
Ooh,
Epic Game Store, 101 gigs. And Microsoft Store, 102 gigs.
No, this is storage space needed for preload is 233 for Steam.
Oh, you're right. I was just reading the install size. You are correct.
Because it goes down to that, doesn't it? After.
So you are going to need a whole, just buy yourself a whole new SSD just to hold Destiny at this point. 233 gigs for Steam and the Epic Game Store. Apparently on the Microsoft Store, you only need the exact size you need to play the game, just 100 gigs. And now I want to double check the rest of these. And
no, the rest
PS4. The rest of them are good. PS4 though, 88 gigs to install. You're going to need 184 gigs to preload it though.
That's
Xbox,
because you get special PlayStation abilities. That's why.
Mm-hmm. So what I've learned from this is Microsoft, you will need about the same thing you need to play the game. On everything else, you're going to need double the disk space. Just delete those games you aren't playing to make room for Destiny. That's the only game that should be in your heart and on your hard drive anyway.
Now, do we think the reason why they're giving 24 hours downtime is that they actually want a day off? The whole company's having a day off. Because if you can preload it, all I can see is that they've sent in Nigel and he's just going to flick the switch and Destiny all goes off at 9 a.m. And they go, Nigel, flick the switch so that it all goes off and then push the other button so that they can upload the game. And then we'll all come back in maybe, say, 7, 8 o'clock the next morning, make sure it all goes smoothly. I think that's what's happening. I think they've all got a Destiny day off.
Now, for you Xbox users, Xbox recently sent out an update that changed your power settings. So you got to make sure that your Xbox isn't going to go to sleep while you're preloading. So double check your power settings, Xbox users.
Make sure you get your game. You got 24 hours. You're good to go. Just like going to visit Amanda. If you have any Bungie rewards, if you have a jacket you haven't purchased, if there's a Witch Queen reward, if you're trying to get your hands on that sweet seal, that nice little pin, or any of the things in the Bungie store, you're gonna need to buy them before the downtime starts. So again, 9 a.m. Pacific on February 27th, which is Monday. So Monday, 19 before 5 p.m., you got to go to the Bungie store and buy anything you're going to buy because it goes away. End of the season, end of your rewards. They all also go away into the void. And your season is ending soon. So make sure you get your seasonal seals and your rewards. Go through your season pass on all your characters. Pick up the items. Season vendor rewards. Why is the Drifter holding 50 engrams? Because you've ignored him. Go get those engrams. Shax, Zavala, Same 14, they've got engrams. Go pick them up. Banshee 44, grab that stuff. The Exo Frame, what's he holding for you? Grab those things. If for no other reason, just pick them up and dismantle them. Then you'll have legendary shards, and then you, like Respawn, will be ready to go for the next season.
That's cool.
It tells you to set up your cross save. Players who plan on playing Lightfall while utilizing cross save should set up cross save before you log into Lightfall. I don't know who's doing that between Lightfall, but yeah, make sure that's working. Otherwise, your purchase season passes and dungeon keys won't be applied as you think they should. Your Legacy Collection update, alongside the launch of Lightfall, they'll be making adjustments to the Legendary Collection. The current collection, containing the Forsaken Pack, Shadowkeep, and Beyond Light, will be retired from all platform stores and replaced with the Legendary Legacy Collection (2023), which will also contain Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and the Witch Queen. So basically, the Forsaken is being removed from that pack and will have its own separate content pack available in the future if you want to buy Forsaken for some reason.
Yeah, because it's only half a pack. I mean, it's a raid and a few bits. That's it.
Yeah, so if you're sitting here waiting to buy the Legacy Collection, maybe wait till Lightfall launches so you can get Witch Queen. They don't say if the price is changing. I don't know what the Legacy Collection costs now, but I don't know if the price will go up at that point. But you're getting a lot more content if you wait until Lightfall to buy it.
Let's face it, you're not. You can play Lightfall and you don't have to worry about the other things. You can always go back and buy them at a later stage, especially when they're on sale. And we'll let you know if they go on sale.
Precisely. They were on sale a little bit ago. They'll be on sale again. And what's also on sale is known issues. We have a couple of known issues hot off the presses on sale just for you. Some Xbox players are re-downloading the most recent update on every game launch.
Tell me about it.
You're one of those some Xbox players?
No, just midstream.
No.
I'm going through Operation Seraph Shield. I was with Donnie and I was with Noble yesterday. We were on the spacewalk and suddenly I'm jumping and then the screen went black midstream. And I thought, has the power gone off? And it took me back to the start screen, loaded it back up. It took me back to the dashboard again. I clicked the button again. And then it did that whole 15 minutes. We're going to just go through that whole load up. I was like, I am really sorry. This is the worst stream ever. Okay, we're going to have to sit here and watch this.
Is yours also 700 megs? Is that not like the slowest 700 megabytes of data?
Yep.
Like I can download gigs of data in no time at all.
Yep.
That is I don't know where those 700 megabytes particularly are coming from. Possibly through a dial-up modem that Amanda hacked out of the tower. But it takes forever.
Yep.
So I'm sorry you're seeing that over and over again. That is super irritating. I was vastly irritated to see it the twice that I've seen it. I'm hoping that's the only 2 times.
No, it did it mid-game for me. Mid-game.
Oh, haven't seen that one, but I turned it on this morning and it did it again. So at least it hasn't happened mid-game. Fingers crossed.
Maybe the mid-game fixes it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. So apparently they're also investigating reports of weasel errors occurring on character login. So if you're getting weasels instead of characters, they're aware of it, looking into it. And if you receive a lever penalty in the competitive Crucible playlist, you will be unable to launch the playlist once the lever penalty has expired. This can be resolved by swapping characters and playing in another match in competitive. So if you can't bring your hunter into competitive because the lever penalty expired, but you can't get back in, swap to your warlock, play a competitive match, swap back to your hunter, you should be good to go.
What?
And there's other known issues on the known issues article we link in the show notes, or you just can be surprised when you run into bugs and go, hey, why is this happening in your favorite Discord? And somebody will tell you. We also have a lovely OST violin cover of the Deep Stone Lullaby, Flying Through the Galaxy movie of the week, Regretting Nothing, Giving Big Hugs to Tanks, and a plush needle felt callus.
Yeah.
And the Drifter. Just having a hard week, even though it's only Wednesday. Which I feel you, Drifter. I feel you. And that is our TWAB. And yeah, Bungie's gonna take the day off right before Lightfall launches. It'll be fine. Nothing's gonna go wrong. It's gonna be a perfectly flawless launch.
Stop jinxing things.
There's 3 kitty cats at the end of the TWAB.
Yeah.
One of them might actually be one of us because it's a kitty cat sitting in a chair with a microphone, a keyboard, a mouse, and a headset. So I mean, that kick-ass is clearly going to podcast here soon.
That's Respawn. That definitely is Respawn.
And that checks out.
Hmm.
So yeah, are we hyped? Are we excited?
I'm so
yes.
excited.
Have we indeed all purchased Lightfall at this point?
We have.
I purchased it a long time ago.
Yes, but it's only just come out the bank now.
Yes, which I always forget about. I think I've spent that money, and then the money goes, "Hey, remember me?" And I go, "Oh yeah, right."
Yeah, my bank actually phoned me up and went, "There's some suspicious activity on your account." And I thought, my wife's been up to it again. What is suspicious on the account? And they went, "You're spending $54.99 on the Microsoft Store." I was like, "Yes, I've spent other money on the Microsoft Store. Why is this one suspicious?" The woman couldn't answer me. She just said, "It's suspicious, so we've stopped it." Like, okay, so can I reactivate it?
Could you not
She said,
stop it?
No, she said, "Oh, that's fine. We'll reactivate it and let you do it." Oh, by the way, you're going to need to contact Microsoft and tell them that they need to try and take it again because they've stopped trying to take it now. It's like, well, what was this all about then? Because I've now got several emails from Microsoft saying we were unable to take the money.
Yeah.
You've got the money.
Oh,
your bank said no. £54. It's not like it was $2,000.
Okay. Bank of England, wherever you are over there, you should know this man spends about £54 at Microsoft. I'm going to say at least yearly.
No, it's more than that. I had a voucher for Christmas. I put to it. So
well, there we go. Yeah, I mean, there should be a fairly scheduled withdrawal. This should not be suspicious. This should not be weird.
What was confusing? I pay like the monthly subscription for 3 Xbox Live Gold, unlimited accounts.
Yeah, well,
from
that's
the
not
same
suspicious
account
at all.
That's not suspicious.
Not suspicious. Nope, you're good. Nothing suspicious there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And while I was tempted to Respawn to give you a report roundup that was just going to be pictures of trains leaving stations, just going to be nothing but hype trains, I thought about that this morning. I should find some trains of all the hype trains leaving the station, because basically all of the socials are just, hey, we're excited for Lightfall. When is Lightfall going to be here? Hey, I'm farming for this thing. I want to build craft, but too much has changed and my brain's exploding, so I need to see it before we start really build crafting.
Yeah.
So that's your report roundup. Lightfall is upon us.
Oh.
Nice. So from Destiny and everyone else, Lightfall is upon us. Get on the hype train. If you don't own it, go buy it. If you can't afford it, rob somebody.
If you're in the UK, maybe tell Microsoft first ahead of time that you're going to buy these things.
No, tell your bank first.
Oh, right. Yeah. Tell your bank to tell Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure everyone's on the same page.
So, if you just want for anything from Bungie, can you hide from my wife's account? I'd really appreciate it.
It's just Microsoft. It's fine. It's just Office 365. Nothing to worry about here. Right? So Nitedemon, similarly, has there been anything on YouTube other than we are hyped for Lightfall? Here are my thoughts on Lightfall. Here's what maybe you might want to have. Here's the 97 guns you should have already farmed for Lightfall.
No, I mean there are those videos out there, but like I said at the beginning, the main things that I've been watching are the Bife videos that are kind of to do with the lore coming up with Lightfall and the Traveller. And like I said, on one of the lore specific books, there's a picture of the Earth with the Traveller in the center and then a pyramid ship. And they were kind of only found that out now that it's that image that's kind of come from the trailer. And the other thing is there's Puka lore as well. And there's Savathun. She's been planning something and she's managed to trick the witness. So I'll put those in the show notes because they're really interesting watches and listening to. But something that I know we probably haven't got time to discuss now, but I want to throw it out there, right? We have been 2 years from Beyond Light. Yep. And we had the Exo Stranger suddenly turn up. Woohoo, Exo Stranger. What did she bring with her? A puka fishy thingy. Now, Luke Smith was like, oh, you're going to find out more about these, and there may be the possibility of having one of these instead of a ghost. Maybe at some point down the line, we're talking like years down the line. Yeah, we all remember this. Yeah,
yeah. 2 years down the line, one could say. Mm-hmm.
Right, 2 years down the line, right? We now have Neomuna, and we've seen in either concept art or on the trailers and things, there is a puka pool. So these things are on Neomuna, on Neptune. Okay, She must have known 2 years ago where Neomuna is and where these puka fish things come from. Why has she stayed mum on the whole subject for 2 years? Why have we had to go through the long way round of Savathun and Osiris drinking weird and funky cups of tea to find out where Neptune is and Neomuna? Just throwing it out there now, because I'm confused as hell.
She
'Cause
didn't have time to explain what she didn't have time to explain.
She's been
she's very
standing.
busy. She's very busy.
Been
She has stuff to
standing
do.
on Europa, just outside a tent for many a day, not doing a thing. She could have explained where that fishy thing come from. Say, hey, oh, by the way, do you want to go and check out this planet? No, nothing.
No. First rule about Neomuna is you don't talk about Neomuna. So one thing again that we don't need, it doesn't need to be a whole discussion thing. I saw Josh Hunt, who is one of the Destiny devs, not Destiny from Bungie devs, but person who creates many things, created the DestinySets.com website, Ghost Overlay, a bunch of other things. Just one of the developers like working in the Destiny universe, making the cool apps that we all use and love and rely on. I saw him posting on Mastodon about watching the trailer and how he's got sort of a tinfoil hat theory about everything we see like in the trailer that's not on Neomuna doesn't actually happen because it's a mirage put on by the Witness. And he's saying like we're seeing the Traveler being attacked and leaving and pyramids all around the Traveler, but it's seen through cracked glass. Like this is a mirage being put on that we're like seeing like this.
It's like Avengers, where is it? It's Age of Ultron, isn't it? Where he picks up the staff. Tony Stark picks up the staff, and he has the vision of all the Avengers laying dead on the rocks and things. And Captain America grabs his hand and tells him it's his fault and things like that. And he's like snaps back to reality. Oh, it could be onto something. Could be just like, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Seeing just watch the launch trailer, feeling more confident about this theory. Basically the Witness is not in our physical, universe, dimension, reality, whatever. And every time you see the cracked glass, it's a window into where the Witness maybe is trapped.
God, he's taking his time getting here, isn't he? I mean, the size of him in that trailer, and then like the Traveler going full like Death Star on everything. Like, my mind's blown.
Yeah. I really just need to read my lore. I need someone, a nice British man, to explain to me how the lore works, or a nice Aussie man. You're basically just somebody with a pleasant accent telling me how the lore works. Because I go to Ishtar, my brain, my eyes roll back on the back of my head, and it's very confounding to my poor little brain. But I'm excited to learn more about it. I'm excited to see where Lightfall takes us.
And we will be there next week. We will be in the Lightfall. No doubt Respawn will be playing it live. So we apologise in advance for the clicking, the clacking, the screaming, and the smacking. That rhymed.
But we don't apologise for any of the Spider-Manning.
No, we don't.
I can do two things. The first of which is say thank you to all of our lovely patrons.
Because they are lovely.
We love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Zep Orbit. We appreciate you, T-Rex King, Deditato M64, the Scarlet Cam, Carver 2782, We Noble, Golden God 1562, Basically Salt, Zombie Pops, PP Pipe, and Lord Master Chaos. We approve and we appreciate of each and every one of you. Thank you for your support, and thank you for hanging out with us as we go into Lightfall. And we thank you, all of you, dear listeners, for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your hunter is no one responds in real life. Still a hunter, he claims.
Just.
Our lore scribe, somewhere out there in the dark. Maybe you'll see him on the stream. Maybe you'll see him pop up again. Is not ARF. You can email the show at 2timesandahunter@hotmail.com. We are everywhere you want to be. I think it was Fluffy Fingers last week who said, basically go and just search 2 Times and a Hunter. You'll find our show, and then you can find the rest of the Great Destiny podcasts. So yeah, just go search 2 Times and a Hunter. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're all there. You can find us wherever you get your podcast. Follow us on YouTube for each new episode, weekly update video, and live streams. All the streams that are live, they're live streamed on YouTube and archived on YouTube. That's where they live forever. If you'd like to be one of our lovely patrons, and you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/TTAH. If you want to throw a couple of bucks our way, a couple of shekels, a couple of, whatever currency you have in your distant land, coffee.com, ko-fi.com/2titansandahunter. If you'd like the thrill of live action, spicy language, and weekly D&D, head over to twitch.tv/no-one-responds in real life. If you'd like to keep it a little more family friendly with a proper British gentleman, way early in the morning in the US, less early in the morning in the UK, twitch.tv/2titans and a hunter. You can enjoy Nitedemon streams at 2 Titans and a Hunter, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. UTC, which is about 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time, US.
Yep.
And Respawn has his schedule when he streams.
This week will be on a Wednesday.
Ooh, Wednesday this week. Excellent, excellent. And I will see all you lovely people in Lightfall.
Toddles. Deuces. Arrivederci. Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Deuces!
I've done that one.
Yeah, but it's my deuces. Mine's better.
No.
Yep.
It's okay. 3 out of 5.
2 Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.